What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here for another episode of my show. I would tweet the show out. But Twitter seems to be having some issues. And by issues, I mean like deliberately. It's not working of Elon's own accord. He deliberately made it so. He's deliberately done this. So you know what I'm saying. Who's gonna show up tonight? If anyone, I don't know. Maybe you guys will catch this later because I can't tweet my show out. But what's up, Nautical?
What it do? What it do? How you
Yes,
guys doing today?
Yes. All right, so we'll keep the FTC stuff really short, I promise. Gregor, Bunty, Spider-Man, what's up, guys? All right, so Singer, what's up?
Singer still counting those 600 tweets.
No, yeah, I am actually. I haven't run out of tweets either. I still got a few more left to go. Let's go, baby.
You know, it's also counts for scrolling because I ran out expeditiously.
Oh no!
Okay,
I ran out.
Oh no!
Okay, so
I ran out quickly. Like I was off of Twitter this morning. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think they kind of count your notifications plus your feed at the same. So if you follow a lot of people, you're done. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so I've been gone.
Ain't no way that. Hold on. There's no way they count your notifications.
Luca, the first time I jumped on Twitter today, I already saw you exceeded. Yeah, I'm like, how? I just got on here.
Oh man,
it has to call, and I have notifications on for like stuff like Wario 64 and like say like Shinobi because they be like tweeting out new stuff. And so, like, it's like, hey, yo, I'm hiving it up now. Let's go high.
I asked people a question about something Colin Moriarty said, and I got a bunch of replies. I'm like, that would actually make sense as to why I logged on and I immediately couldn't see anything. I was like, this is my first time looking at Twitter. What's going on, man? But it is what it is. But yeah, what's up, Slow-Mo?
Oh, chilling, you know.
And then Nautical, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened with Twitter? Toma was talking about it this morning earlier today. I just know something about a tweet limit and all this other stuff. I don't know what happened.
Let me go to Hive to find the tweet because going to Twitter, I
have the screenshot of it on my phone.
Yeah, but so here's another thing that's a typical Elon Musk thing to do. He made the change and didn't tell anyone.
He didn't tell his team.
He tweeted out at like 1 p.m. what the change was. That because everybody was like, what the heck is going on? So it says to address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, whatever, right? We've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day. Unverified accounts to 600 posts per day. New unverified accounts 300 posts per day. So he really expects people to pay for Twitter Blue and have less access than they had when they didn't pay for Twitter Blue and it was free. And you could just read as many tweets as you want to your heart's content. Like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Did you say
paying for less access?
Did you say 6,000 if you're paying?
Yes.
600 if you're not.
And if you're
we're
a new
all
account,
screwed then already.
And also to don't even think about making a new account and getting around it that way, because you want to get 300 on a new account.
Yep. He already like I guarantee you that's why they made it 300 because he already knew that's what people would try to do.
So when did this official? Oh, today. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I just like, here's my thing.
You want to really kill Twitter, I see.
Here's the issue. You're not going to convince people to pay for something that's been free this entire time. You know what I'm saying? Especially, okay, what does Twitter offer for me? I'm going to use myself as an example as a content creator, right? I'll go on Twitter. I'll ask a question and people will reply and I will have conversations with people and people will have conversations with each other. So it's just a good way to get all of us talking and having fun together. Right. So there's that. I use Twitter to keep up with the people in my community who want to keep up with me. And then I use Twitter to send out links for the show. and that's pretty much it. But Twitter's not really doing any. Oh, and to keep up with any news or whatever, right? But thinking about Twitter, Twitter is such a hostile and negative place, like, and it's like designed to be that way. It's designed to feed you negative content. That's just kind of like, well, is this really such a bad thing? And he also said this is temporary, so we'll see what happens. But me personally, I'm not paying for Twitter Blue. I have no incentive to pay for it. If Twitter goes away, oh well, that sucks. I guess I'll just have to open my Discord again for the 50th time. But yeah, let me say hi to people in the chat. So Gregor Bunty, Foxy, what's up, girly pop? Nobody's going to Twitter, Tumblr, girl. You already know this. Atari, Iman, Nola, Meat Puppet. Let's see here. Arcade, Aaron. Let's see here. Mr. Glass, Max, what's up? Yeah, Blade X. Yeah, no one is going to Tumblr. No one's going to Instagram. Well, I mean, I'm sure people are, but like, it's like it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Like, Twitter is not like YouTube. If YouTube went down, oh my goodness. I couldn't deal with that.
What happens if YouTube brought it? You could only view 300 videos a day.
I mean,
I would be fine with that. Yeah, that's different.
Well,
yeah. I don't live
Okay.
on YouTube, but I do use YouTube pretty extensively, and I got everyone I'm subbed to. I have bell notifications on, so when they go live or if they upload something, I get it. I consume the content, but if it was 300 videos, I'd be fine with that. But if they was 10 videos a day, all right, look, man.
Nah, I was
problem.
gonna say 300 videos was a bit excessive. So you could use YouTube for 300 minutes, like that.
That would kill channels that have like those really long form videos. That would kill those channels. Yeah, because those are some of my favorite videos to watch. But shout out to Meat Puppet Super Chat. Appreciate you, my boy. Saying, in my opinion, if you're reading more than 600 tweets in a day, might have a problem. Please go outside. It's not that, Meat Puppet. It's not you reading 600 tweets.
It's the scrolling.
It's the scrolling. Like, so even if you're not, it's like the view counter on Twitter isn't accurate at all, because if you scroll by a tweet, it's you viewing it. But it's like, just because I scroll through my feed, I'm not reading everything I'm scrolling through, but it still counts as a view.
It's not even that though. As I said, Luca, as soon as I got on Twitter today, I was already at my limit.
I was getting to that point.
So it was like, it's because I am following a bunch of people, and as soon as it loaded up, no, because he what he's saying.
I know what he said, but I was going to get to that part. That I was like right there. I was explaining it. Then I was like, all right, so, and then I was going to go to this part, and then Singer asked me a question or made a comment, and I was explaining it to him. But go ahead, Slomo. It's fine.
Is it fine?
No, it's not.
Because you stay in that. Because you stopped me to tell me.
I did stop you. I'm like, what are you doing?
This and then said it's fine, but clearly it's not fine.
Listen, did you have too much fun with the ponies last night? Got too used to them cutting you off and you having to fight to get.
Here we go. No. I'm not.
Okay.
This is.
You enjoyed the hay party?
Oh man, it's way too much hay, man.
Did you have fun in the stables?
Have fun in the stables?
Man, I still smell, man. I took a shower, and the stable smell just doesn't go away for some reason.
Well, I mean, Xbox has some shower gel for you.
Like Philip Cornelius Spencer deserves better.
Yes. Wait, you can't see tweets if you aren't logged in? Oh my goodness.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know. That's what Miles said.
Oh my! Wow.
Let me check on my other browser. But go ahead, Slomo.
That is so. Look, I went live for lunchtime with Slow Mo earlier, and I was talking about like if you want to, clearly he spent $40 billion and he's not getting the money on his investment, right? So he wants to generate more revenue, and he wants to try to turn us into customers of a different variety. Like we're already a product to him, because corporations will come to Twitter and they will say how many people are talking about Pepsi. Let's say we're Pepsi. How many people are talking about us? He can provide that data, but that's not enough. He's not making enough money. So now he wants to take what was once something that we just expected to have for free, which was just access to the website, and then limit that. So like, that's just not how people view value, and true value. You can't take things from people and then give it back to them, but say now you have to pay for the same thing you had yesterday for free. No one's going to take that. So especially when you're quote unquote competitors, other people out here who are growing are doing everything that you don't do. It's just not going to work.
So I have a question. So what happens if you tweet something out? You know, we all done it before, and it catches like wildfire. You know, your notification bar says 20 plus on it.
That's me. I logged in and I couldn't see anything because I got like 100 replies last night talk about this Colin Moriarty stuff. That's what's gonna happen.
And as soon as you hit that your notification button and it scrolled all the way to the top, it was like it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Like
you ain't even get a chance to even see any of the tweets because they went by so fast.
Right. And people reply to you and you can't see their replies. Like, Luca ignoring me. And Luca not ignoring. Luca just didn't see your tweet because Luca's at Luca's limit, and Luca can't see that tweet till tomorrow.
Listen, man, I am not paying for Twitter Blue.
I'm not paying for Twitter Blue either. It's just not. It's not happening. I have no interest in paying for it.
Like I did it. I paid the little $3 when they were before he bought it because I wanted the 1080p longer uploads. That's when I did that one video that I posted on it just to see how it was. But as soon as they said, "Oh, well, this is how you get your verified check mark," I'm like, I'm definitely not paying for this now. And then you want $8.99 for it? Nope, not doing it. And now you want to, yeah. So basically, he wants you to pay to scroll.
Which is insane. I'm just like, again, he did say that this was temporary, so we'll see what happens. But like for me personally, again, I'm just not paying for it.
It's only temporary to the amount of money that he might generate from it for the people that are going to pay for it, though.
That is it.
Because you know people are going to be desperate enough. They live on Twitter. They have all their spaces, their arguments, you know. But
people... like, what's the point of being desperate and paying to be on Twitter if other people are not going to pay to be on Twitter? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to get on there to see that content, but the people making that content are not on there because they're not going to pay for it. And shout out to Sir X-Men saying Elon Musk is asking like Jim Ryan and Sony. He's acting like every other businessman. What's up, Rain? What's up? I got to get you back on the show soon, dude. It's always good to see you. What's up, Phil, Slayer, Geekhead? What's goody, my boy? Capono, Sean, what's up? Sly, what's up? Hector, what's up? He definitely overpaid for Twitter. He got cucked, dude. He cucked himself, honestly.
Yeah,
Dennis, what's up? Delone, Miles, everyone. Autumn, what's goody, my girl? How you doing, Saber? But yeah, like he cucked himself.
I mean, he is the most successful. He's the most successful failure ever. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh, Trump exists? I'm sorry.
No. But you can't top what Elon Musk has achieved.
Elon has mastered the fail upward.
Yep.
Failing upward.
This dude can set up a company. It can fail, and he comes out with profit. And then you're like, he does it again, and you're like, how does this dude keep getting money? Where is he getting this money from?
It's charismatic, man. When you can,
he's not charismatic.
No.
Have you ever heard this man in the interview?
Listen. I'm not saying for me he's charismatic. I'm just saying that his temperament comes off that way for a lot of other people
for other cucks, man.
That's
for
what I'm saying.
Cucks.
And guess what? There's a lot more cucks out there than us.
That's true. Here's the thing: no matter who you are, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can always find somebody who supports you and has the same kind of ideals as you.
You do realize that we did have a president that got voted in.
I know, like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, we're outnumbered severely.
I just sucks to suck, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, it is what it is. I don't actually care.
You care.
I don't care in the sense that it's like if Twitter goes down, it's like, okay, well, like I don't care enough to pay for it.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, I could almost be like somewhat behind it, even though I would never be about paying for something that was already free. But at least give us the unlimited option of scrolling. It's like, 'cause it's not like that's not there, because I guarantee you're not locking down bigger businesses that have Twitter accounts that literally when they open their feed, they're gonna like. Can you imagine Bungie having 6,000 things that they can read as much stuff as they get? And all of a sudden they can't look at Twitter no more. I know there's a
But
way
here's the
around
thing:
it.
is that Elon is so short-sighted. He did not think about that when he implemented. I am positive he did not think about that when he implemented this.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now because bear in mind you have like Blizzard support, Xbox support, PlayStation support. All these companies have these supports, and you'll probably have millions of people you asking questions every day or every week, and you only get 6,000. So
Yeah.
after that, that's it. Blizzard support won't be able to help you because they can't tweet anymore.
That's Twitter Blue. So these companies that aren't paying for Twitter Blue are getting the 600. You know, so
It's just like, I don't know, man. Turn this on, Elon. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. He's always just like, he bought Twitter. It was an ego buy, and now we're all dealing with the consequences of it. And I remember a bunch of people who were just like, yeah, Elon, buy Twitter. Woo, Elon's so awesome. I'm just like,
so wow.
What?
Bro.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are y'all talking about, dude? So
there's a summer sale going on.
But yeah, anyway, again, this is temporary, so we'll see.
Hopefully.
I mean, he said it was temporary, so we'll see what happens there. And yeah, okay, all right, Singer, give me this FTC recap.
Oh,
important points. All right, best points.
Important points. Okay, let me pull up my thing because I believe I did bookmark on Twitter. Yes, I still have some tweets available, so let's use them. All right, let me have a look at my bookmarks.
Can you look at your bookmarks?
I can. Yes, I haven't used all 600. All right, don't scroll. Just scroll like one at a time. Okay. so okay.
You gotta wait. This singer up here like this, y'all. He's like, look, I don't want to see the next one. The next one can't be seen.
or actually, I'm able to get two on the same screen at a time. I know it, but either way. So in no particular order because it was over a couple of days. So a few interesting things came out in this case, as we knew it would. For example, Microsoft tried to buy Zynga before Take-Two snagged them. Jim Ryan, it turns out, wasn't worried at all. He knew Call of Duty was going to remain on PlayStation, and he was full of shit. That came out. It also came out that Indiana Jones is exclusive. Pretty big deal because everyone was wondering about it. The judge was having fun, poking fun at the FTC a lot. That was also a good part of it. Then it was revealed the reason why Microsoft purchased Bethesda, because people didn't know. Well, now you know. And the reason they bought them was because they were fed up of PlayStation basically making timed exclusives. So they said, nah, we're good. We'll just buy the studio. So that was pretty fun. There was a bunch of back and forth. Skip all the boring drivel. Elder Scrolls 6 may or may not be exclusive. It's not confirmed yet. So there's hope for you, my pony brethren.
It would be weird if Elder Scrolls wasn't exclusive, but Starfield is. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, Elder Scrolls is an established franchise, whereas Starfield's brand new, right? It's a new IP.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive. They just didn't want to say that. They didn't need to say it at the trial, and you can get away with not revealing that information while also not what's the word I'm looking for? Committing perjury by just saying we haven't made that decision yet, even though through the emails that they got nothing that says that it is exclusive, so you can just get away with it for now, but it's going to be exclusive.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I could see it. Then the funniest out of all of them was Phil's, because Phil kind of schooled him on what the thing is, because, and I quote, "Tell us about the Disney IP," the FTC to Phil Spencer. "Tell us about the Disney IP, Indiana Jones being an Xbox exclusive." And Phil responded with, "One of the biggest IP, Spider-Man, doesn't ship on Xbox." That was one of the best clapbacks ever. It's like, you don't want to play the Disney IP because, Spider-Man don't exist on Xbox. There was quite a bunch of things. Like they tried telling him they wasted time with Activision. Overall, it was a huge back and forth. The ending arguments, a lot of people think Xbox won. A lot of people think the FTC, well, I mean, the ponies hope the FTC won. The Xbox think Microsoft won. The people who I actually trust to know, like Hoglaw, still think it's 50-50, you know? It could go either way.
I think it'll go either way.
I think it'll go either way. That's where I'm at. I'm at 50-50 with it. After listening to all the things, diligently listening to every court proceeding.
Shout out to Anglo Jackson saying Starfield has to be a banger, otherwise I don't care for Elder Scrolls 6. That's you, Mikey friend. That's you. I'm playing Elder Scrolls 6 regardless, okay? But what's up, Dread? What's goody, my boy? Michael, what's up, Big Lou? What's up, my boys? Good to see y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. All right, continue.
Then some other stupid questions. These are just funny things. The FTC said to Sarah Bond, you need a Windows license to stream PC games, correct? Now, anyone who knows anything about PC gaming, you know that's not true. And then Sarah responded with, no, you could stream PC games without a Windows license. It's like, did you not come prepared? But I understand, you know, it's weird. Also, the other revelation was Sony didn't give Microsoft, Mojang, PS5 dev kits. Hence, you don't have a Minecraft PS5 version.
We also don't have the Xbox Series Minecraft version either.
Yep, that's what's really weird about it.
I think that's because they have some type of parity clause, meaning if you can't make it the same on both, then you can't make it better on Xbox. Which is crazy if that's the case, because you're basically telling the whole vertical, what's the name? It's like you're telling Microsoft that they can't do something with their own IP because you're not giving them the dev kits to be able to produce that on your newer console, which is their fault.
And that was the main things that came out of it. They also revealed how much The Last of Us 2 and Horizon cost to make. Shout out to the Sharpies. And I feel bad for whoever got fired. The
interesting about that? The interesting thing about that singer? $200 million. How much allegedly was Halo Infinite?
220 million.
Yeah, 220. How much was Halo Infinite?
Allegedly 500, but I don't believe that's I refuse to believe it was 500 million. I was looking at,
as soon as I saw that $220 million, I was like, dude, how did Halo end up like how Halo ended up with? Basically both those games were less than Halo Infinite by themselves. Just saying.
Yeah. So all right, let's talk about Pete Hines then. Do you have any? Okay, let me pull it up.
Shout out to Pete Hines.
Pete
Hines was like, I'm confused.
All right, so
I'm confused.
Well, shout out to Pete Hines, one of the. He used to be the marketing guy at Bethesda. He's got a different title now, I believe. But Pete Hines came through, and he said, "Let's see here." Pete Hines pointed out some statements from Microsoft in which they claim they have no intention of turning COD or any Activision Blizzard series really into an exclusive on the Xbox ecosystem, right? So he sends an email to Jamie Letter, Todd Howard, and Todd Vaughn saying, this was last year, February 10th, 2022, about the Xbox blog post. He's like, I'm confused. Is the below...
That's what got me upset. That's the most funniest part of the whole thing, Luca. He's like, I'm confused.
He's not confused. He's pissed. He's not confused.
That was the polite way of saying it.
I'm confused. Is the below not the opposite of what we were just told? I was just asked, parentheses, told to do with our own titles. What's the difference? Emphasis in bold is mine from this blog post yesterday. And then the blog post talks about Call of Duty going to be available on PlayStation. And then Pete continues with, did anyone at Xbox think about giving us a heads up on this? Todd's going to DICE in a couple weeks. You don't think a journo might find him and press him on why? You don't think a journo might find him and press him on why the below is okay for COD or any Activision Blizzard games, but not for the Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield or at any / every future interview he does. And I had to like give it to him. I had to give it to Pete. Like, he was writing for his boy. He was like, what is this? Like, why didn't you let us know about this? This is bullshit, dude.
You definitely should have let him know, but I got the quick answer for you, Pete. Call of Duty by itself makes more than all of your company makes by itself with all its games. And that's the reason those games are going to be on multiple platforms. You know, every game, no matter, Skyrim's one of the most popular games ever. So it's Fallout. But every year, especially during this,
what is that sound?
What is that noise?
I don't know what that is. But ever since, you know, this case has come out, just Sony alone generates $14 to $17 billion off of Call of Duty by itself. That's one company off of one game, and that's not counting PC. That's not counting, you know, Xbox or any other place they have it. That's more than Bethesda's worth. That's why. Now they should have told them. I agree, 100%. But that's the quick and dirty answer to why their games aren't going to be exclusive and why your games are.
Well, I mean, they should have told him that. I mean, like, the thing is that, like, Pete, he should not have sent the email. Especially because that's a conversation. You call up Todd Howard and Tom Letter, and you vent to them over the phone about this complete about face that you're seeing and how they acquired all these studios, all they exclusive. You acquired us and we exclusive, and now they not exclusive. And then you send Phil a very professional email asking for clarification because Todd Howard's about to go through a buzzsaw at DICE and he needs to know what the marching orders are. He needs to know what the talking points are, and then politely, in a way, phrase things in that better communication needs to be had so that we don't even have to ask these questions.
Here's the thing, like, if you've been used to doing things for so long, you know, it's difficult to break out of some habits. Like, I'm sure they always they always send emails.
Trash and emails.
Like, who are they going to get in trouble with? They're in charge. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I wish he really would have went in like, man, this big head Phil Spencer out here telling like that would have been great. Oh my gosh, that would have been. Imagine them saying that in court. You said, and I quote, this big head bastard Phil,
not the
out
bastard.
Here.
John, he would have said that in that email, man. That would have been.
No, I mean, like it's bad. His testimony just kind of like it didn't really help them in their case at all. I think he didn't help them. I don't think Bobby helped them either, but I also don't think Bobby cares.
Bobby was like, Game Pass. I don't believe that.
Oh my god, Bobby!
I wouldn't do that.
Funny dude. Like, as soon as they said that Bobby was going to be on the set, I'm like, oh my goodness, we are about to get some gold. Like, he's hysterical.
Man, Bobby was like, I'm from the movie business. I understand what this type of stuff like subscription service does to the industry. I would never put Call of Duty in there, but guess what? He gonna take that check if this deal goes through. Oh man, Bobby don't care because he either gonna get a bag from Microsoft by spending $70 billion, or he gonna get another bag for $3 billion for the deal not going through.
Regardless,
he getting the bag no matter what.
Like, he's a rich bastard.
Literally getting half of what Bethesda's worth in a bag for just this whole thing going on.
I know, but yeah. So I mean, listen, I don't blame Pete for being upset. Microsoft has a communications issue. I feel like we've been saying this for some time now. You know, there was an interesting comment the other day where someone's like, they spend so much time on Twitter. And I'm like, yeah, they need to spend less time on Twitter, which maybe they will now. But like, they need to spend less time on Twitter communicating and giggling with fans and more time just not saying shit to us, because like, they get themselves in trouble. You know, people be quoting that shit that they say on Twitter and be like, remember when you said this? And they're just like, oh shit, I don't remember when I said that. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, well, damn, sucks to suck, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame Pete, man.
But doesn't it seem like they change their focus every 2 years on what they want to do? And I think it's partly because, again, as you said, guys, we were saying they do too many interviews, and whenever they have a different philosophy on something, then they change it. Like, we don't know what Doug Bowser thinks on anything. We don't know a lot of times what Herman Holst and Jim Ryan think. If they decide they're going to change their mind on doing a mid-gen refresh, then change their mind again, we would never know because they're not out here telling us about those kind of things. Whereas, like, we know that at one point Phil promised VR, and then something happened with Oculus and Facebook, and there's no VR. At one point they said we don't want to show games too far out because we don't want to disappoint people, and then they went and showed, like, in 2020 a dozen games that were all teaser trailers, and then 3 years later we only see a few of those games. But last year, 2 years after they did that, they said, well, we're only going to show games to come out in the next 12 months. It's like it's always a change. At one point Phil Spencer said we're never going to lose the power narrative, and now they're saying they're not going to do a mid-gen refresh. Well, if you don't do a mid-gen refresh, the PS5 Pro is going to be more powerful than your Xbox Series X. You lose the power narrative, so you don't care about that no more. Like, how many times are you going to change your mind? And maybe that's normal, but it's not normal for us to sit here and hear, like, you say one thing one year and the next year is a different thing. Maybe you should just stop talking to us as often and only talk to about things that are like concrete, high level. That's never going to change in the next 5 years kind of stuff.
The only person on Twitter who should be speaking is Aaron Greenberg. And the reason I say that is it's his job.
It's his job, yeah.
Like,
no,
Phil,
I mean, yeah, it's his job. Yeah. So, all right, and then let's see here. What else did I title this show? Okay, let's talk about Colin Moriarty. So Colin Moriarty, I'm sure everyone knows who Colin is. He did this. He runs his podcast, the Sacred Symbols podcast, on Patreon, and for anyone who subscribed, the clip I'm about to show, it obviously does not show the full context of the conversation. It is a 4-hour conversation. I'm not subbed to their Patreon though, so I'm not watching that. But I'm just gonna play a part of this clip. He makes a sports analogy. Y'all know how I feel about fucking sports analogies, so we're gonna play the part of the clip where the beginning and then the end, because again he's doing like a sports analogy in the middle, and okay. So let me just stop my camera, turn this off. Okay, let me shut this down. If I get disconnected, it is what it is, right? Here you go.
I'm like, why are you reading? Because this is something that resonates with me, because I as I listen to the testimony and read the stories and read all the documents and the discovery, the thing that I'm brought back to, and this is just my honest take, and people can take it however they want, is that why are you so vociferously rooting for the company that's telling you they're so bad at this that they need to go buy things? Their entire course of operation throughout the entire case is how bad they are at it, that they can't do it. In fact, Phil Spencer had said about mobile gaming that they couldn't do it, quote unquote, organically, right? Like, admitting it. Now that's maybe true, maybe not. But my biggest thing is not that you're rooting for an entity, right? I think about small market baseball teams.
Okay. And so here's the sports analogy. We're skipping that and we're going to go over here. Okay.
Situation. I'm like, why are you rooting for someone who's bad at it, an entity that's bad at it, that has had more money than anyone to make this work and can't, that has since the very beginning tried to buy its way in? Of course, we always talk about Nintendo, but so many other things, and just blatantly throwing its money around. And of course, as we see here in these quotes, which we'll use, they have every intention of trying, or at least had every intention of trying to spend whatever they could to get whatever they wanted. This to me is a weird thing to root for. I don't get that. It's like they're basically going like, we suck. We can't make it work. Look how badly we're getting our asses beat. We need much more. It's like, why would you ever want any of these entities under their control when they can't do it?
All right. So he posed that question again. It is a part of a longer conversation, a 4-hour conversation on their Patreon. So, if for anyone who's interested, obviously, like, I'm sure you're already subs and stuff, right? But he had that conversation, And then like I quote retweeted it and I asked my people, I was like, so what do you guys think about this? Like minus the sports analogies, because I surely wasn't fucking gonna I don't know anything about sports. What's up, BG? How you doing, buddy?
First of all, it's not like you can actually go look at those tweets now.
Yeah.
No, I mean I have them here. So
oh, you actually got them. Got you.
I got them.
You know, the interesting thing is this is mostly happening due to the fact that Microsoft has finally did the one thing that nobody thought they would do, is open up the checkbook. If this was something they were doing from the beginning, this wouldn't be a big deal. If Microsoft would have came out in 2001 with their console and decided to throw their money around like they could have back then.
Well, they did try.
Well, they tried. Yeah, well, they tried because Nintendo laughed them out of the room. They
so did Square Enix. They tried to buy a bunch of Japanese.
They tried to buy a bunch of Japanese. Yeah. So, but if they would have consistently did this throughout just Xbox and Microsoft together, I don't think people will have an issue with this. Now it just seems like it seems weird because now they're trying to buy up everything and trying to catch up the untraditional way, especially since you've seen not Sony build their studios from the ground up. You've seen Nintendo. Half the people, if you ask people like who's Nintendo's first party studios, they couldn't even name them, but they built theirs all from the ground up. So ultimately, Microsoft's trying to take the fast track to get there. It's that old adage, like, what has Microsoft truly developed themselves, which mostly is Forza and the Fable games. Everything else has been bought and purchased when it comes from Gears and you got Halo and stuff. But I just think it's because they're doing this now. It is not something that's consistent with them. So that's why I really never had an issue with them spending the money and stuff, because listen, you got to do what you got to do. If that's your competency, services and bankrolling stuff the way that you need to do it, that's kind of what you need to do. And honestly, people just don't jive with that, sentiment at this point right now.
Here's the thing, that this is the thing that always got me with this conversation. When you look at the Microsoft didn't support it the way it does now, like they're going for bat for it. And then back in like 2013-14, I remember Zaya's old quote.
Be the behemoth that you are.
The behemoth that you are.
But Microsoft didn't care at that time about Xbox. It was under Windows. Xbox wasn't a factor to Microsoft. Then it became a factor. So Microsoft's like, okay, bet. So we're going to go start spending because you need content. This is great. Okay, let's open up a ridiculous bank account. And then they're brute forcing it. No, they're competing in the way that they compete because they can't compete. They can't play Sony's game. Xbox plays Sony's game, they lose. You can't beat them at their own game. So throw that out of the way. You can't do what they do. They're too well connected. They're the biggest base. They have the most reach. They could go to Capcom and say, we want the timed exclusive for 100 million. Xbox goes to them, they'll tell them, well, because you only have this much player base, it'll be 500 million for you. So Sony easily goes, okay, fine, that's cheap, easy. Here we go. We got the hook up. So they're like, okay, well, we can't do that. So let's just buy it. Fuck it. It's an open market. Someone's willing to sell. It takes two to tango. So if someone's willing to sell, we'll buy. And Embracer's been doing it. Embracer's been doing it a hell of a lot. Like Embracer has 1,000 studios now. Like, think of all the IP they got, but I don't see anyone complaining about Embracer. But anyway, this is the Microsoft you wanted. You said, be the behemoth you are. Well, here it is. The gorilla woke up and it's knocking on your door and you don't like it. Well, which is it going to be? Did you want them? Don't you want them? And Microsoft will be Microsoft, which is, hey, I have a bank account. Fuck all you. I'm going to spend whatever I want. And yes, there would be a stopping point. They know not to. They've had problem with monopolies before. They fully understand. They will stop right before it gets to you're a monopoly. They'll stop before that. They understand where the line is, but they go into the line. And that's just the way it's going to be.
I think they're going to fight up into the line until someone tells them no. Yep. Once they're told no, that's when they'll stop.
If they get this acquisition, any other publisher they try to acquire, that's when the no starts. It's not going through. If they try to acquire another publisher from here, if they don't get it, they're definitely going to continue to keep trying to acquire publishers, and they may get another one smaller. Let's say, for example, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say like Bandai Namco or Sega, like they could acquire them and not. They may get some pushback, but it's almost a guarantee that will go through because of the looking at the full numbers of everything. It's not Activision. It's not doing those kind of numbers. That's it. Like I don't care if they get them or not, honestly.
Well, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Colin's analogies. I know Luca hates sports analogies. They don't even work for me because they don't make sense. He talked about baseball and the Yankees always spending. The Yankees have the most world championships. They have 27. They have more than everyone else. So that's like, well, yeah, like that's what you want to do. If you got the money, you got more money than everyone else, you're going to use that money. Honestly, if Sony was in Microsoft's position, if you reverse their checkbooks, if you reverse their bank accounts, Sony's doing what Microsoft is doing. This is what you kind of use what you have. And what Microsoft doesn't have is the kind of experience, a successful experience in developing and cultivating games and IP and studios the way that Nintendo and Sony have. So they're going to go a different route. They're going to go the money route. They're going to buy people and then get out the way, or at least attempt to get out the way. And we've seen, and we said it multiple times before, that's a double-edged sword. You're going to acquire studios that need guidance, and you're not going to be the one that's going to be able to guide them because you don't know how to do that. And you're going to acquire studios that don't need guidance, and they'll be just fine. But yeah, go ahead, Singer.
People worrying about the consolidation thing. The thing is, we agreed upon this. We had a conversation in the Discord. Like, Microsoft only has one shot to buy a big publisher, right? You have your EA, you have your Ubisoft, you have your Take-Two, you have your Activision, right? They're the biggest publishers. You will only be able to get one because they will tell you hell no to any others. So you want the mobile aspect, so you go for the Activision. You're like, okay, out of the options we have, Activision makes the most sense for us. And that's it. Like, they ain't going to buy any big ones. So when people are going, oh, consolidate, no. Like, they ain't going to buy EA. They ain't going to buy Ubisoft. They ain't going to buy Take-Two. They'll buy smaller things like IO Interactive. Like, little things that people ain't going to miss. Like, as I said, who's going to miss Hitman? No one, really. Because Hitman isn't that big of a game, if we're being real. So it's like, okay, cool. You can take little things like that, but this is it. This is like the biggest thing. So the consolidation stuff can calm down a bit. What you have to be worrying is what Embracer's doing, because Embracer snagged the rights to Lord of the Rings. They had the hookup from Square Enix. I guarantee you they got more hookups in the works. And they're little tiny things, but they're adding up. And before you know it, Embracer's going to go, hey, we have 2,000 studios. We now make 50% of all the games available on the market. Hello. And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, that's perfectly fine because,
Well, Embracer's already kind of going belly up. So,
well, yeah.
It's cool when, going back to his sports analogy, it's cool when you're the 2001 Oakland A's and Billy Beane is out here trying to field a team with a whole bunch of people on minimum contracts and they have a really good year. But what are the teams that always succeed are the ones that are spending the most money, the ones that can afford to bring in the best players and stuff like that. So I just didn't get the context behind that. But I also think that people got to realize that if Activision's stock didn't drop into the 60s, I don't think this would have happened. I think if they were still at their normal, if they were still at their,
not,
if they were, this is what I'm saying. This is the thing you got to think. This was Xbox being opportunistic on it. They were looking at it like
opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, look, they used to be $117 per share, and it dropped into the 60s. So they were like, okay, yeah, we'll buy you for 97 cents a share, which is still 20 points lower than what it was at its high.
$97.
Yeah, $97 a share.
97 cents. I was like,
yeah,
dude, let me get in on this action.
Yeah, $97. So I think that's kind of what people, when you look at that watch list, the watch list got thrown out the window when they saw the Activision the price drop like that. It's like, oh, maybe they'll sell now because of all the stuff that's going on. So people think that they just went out and wanted to buy them. I think no, opportunity just popped up, and that's the thing. But ultimately, when they spent $7 billion on Bethesda, when we woke up that morning and it came
awesome.
up on it, when we woke up, it was $7 billion. People was like, Microsoft did what?
Yeah, that was awesome because, like, me personally, unlike some of the fraud ass Xbots, I play Bethesda games. Okay,
tell them.
Tell them, Luca.
Like,
tell them.
So I was like, oh, this is I mean, oh, this is great because, like, Bethesda and Xbox already have a close history together. This acquisition is something that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this Activision Blizzard thing, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, am I going to act like a bot and cheer it on? Sure, but like, do I care? No, because I don't play any of those games. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, I can understand why they're going for it, for that COD revenue and for
Dude, that COD revenue makes more than their whole division would make.
Yeah, the mobile COD makes a lot of money, so I understand why. But I personally, I don't care. And this FTC bullshit, man. It's been what, a year and a half now or something. Like, it's annoying, man. And it's like, okay, here's my take on what Colin said. What studios has Xbox managed well at this point? Like, hello? They already came out and stated, like, yeah, we didn't do a good job communicating with Arcane. Clearly, based on Pete Hines' interview or email from last year, he's all like, yeah, they didn't tell us shit. So they have a communication problem. They got a problem where they are not obviously not managing these goddamn certain aspects, certain studios well, right? It's certain studios. But they have so many studios under their umbrella, you can't reasonably expect them to, like, show that guidance to them. Back in the day, they got a lot of shit. It's why Bungie left them. They got a lot of shit because they wouldn't let their studios do other things, right?
That's the reason they lost
Gears
Bungie.
and Forza, Halo, Gears and Forza, what does it say?
Yes.
What are the next lines? I don't know.
Halo, Gears and Forza. Halo, Gears and Forza.
Now you got to go look
up. You can't take the heat, get the fuck off of gaming or something like that. I don't know, but like, yeah. So it's like,
yeah, I got my Halo, Gears and Forza. I'm gaming 4K Ultra. There we go.
Let's go,
exactly.
Kids,
but
Let's go.
So it's like, they were too heavy-handed, and so they're like, okay, we're gonna do the complete opposite. I'm like, where's the healthy middle?
No such thing.
You give these studios too much fucking freedom. We get shit like Anthem.
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Luca.
Yeah.
So we know, gamers know, we're not even in these meetings. We know that Xbox has a communication issue,
a management issue.
They have a management issue. You don't think Bethesda know that they had a management issue before they decided to sign on that dotted line where the company that's got a management issue?
That's not Bethesda. It was ZeniMax. It was ZeniMax.
ZeniMax. ZeniMax, but that's what I'm saying. ZeniMax was like, we don't care.
I mean, yeah,
but that's where the whole limited integration thing comes in.
Yeah.
Where we're still managing ourselves, but
they can manage it themselves, except for here's the issue.
They weren't able to manage where those IPs went.
Let's see. Obviously, we got Wolfenstein Youngblood, we got Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls. Actually, Elder Scrolls Online might have been out already, but Fallout 76.
It was out already.
Wolfenstein Youngblood, and then this fucking Redfall, which we know it was supposed to be microtransaction hell, right?
Yeah, initially it was full of microtransactions. They pulled those out.
And they pulled those out. ZeniMax was like, we need y'all to figure out how to make a sustainable form of revenue because we are fucked, right? Essentially was what was going on there. So they were forcing their studios to make games they're not used to making, right? So then they get bought up by Microsoft, and they're like, okay, bet we're good. Yeah,
they're gonna cancel this dog nonsense that we're making. They're gonna cancel it, but then they didn't realize that unlike other publishers and platform holders, Xbox don't even look at their games. So no one looked at the game and said it was garbage.
Can you expand on that, Mr.? We showed that Halo Infinite gameplay with Craig.
Yeah, we showed Halo Infinite and Craig face and didn't even realize it looked like that.
We still don't know
showed it to you.
I will never forget all the people were like, "Yeah, Halo Infinite's gonna be the best looking,
Man,
the best looking game." I'm
as
like,
soon as the door to that Pelican opened, I was like, "Where's the shadows?
well, what's going on? Like,
Where's the draw distance? Like, why is the grass like just
Why
a
is
green blur
where's all
until the
the-
warhog is running over it? Like,
Where's
what
the
is happening?
textures? Where's all these smooth surfaces? Why does that drop ship look like that?"
yeah. So it's just like, that's the thing. So, I asked people what they thought about Colin's take. I can understand his perspective, because I do agree. I'm like, Xbox sucks at managing studios, and based on what we've seen so far,
I will say there are some successes. Like,
you know what? Go ahead.
you know-
Actually, go ahead.
because we're bringing up the failures, but we also have to bring up Coalition.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Coalition's been doing
What
well
has
too.
Coalition been doing?
Well, the
What's
last
game
couple
they
of
came out?
Gears, the last Gears 5, that was a good game,
When
right?
did that
Little
come out?
Gears and Forza.
That came out in
2018?
2019, wasn't it?
No, the DLC came out 2019.
So 2018.
Oh, okay.
What year is
2018.
Let me double check it.
It's
It's
20
either 2018 or
23.
2019.
And what
okay.
about
It's 2019. It's 2019.
if you want something
Turn 10 and Playground are the only ones you could fucking bring up. What other studio? Name the other ones, Singer.
rated well with
I
Sea of Thieves.
I think it's important to mention those. Like, I'm not trying to discredit what those studios have been able to do. I'm just saying that those are like the studios everyone always brings up in terms of, okay, they W for Xbox here, but I'm just like, well, what about all the fucking L's? And you're like, okay, bitch, the way Sea of Thieves launched.
I was gonna say what day one. It's like Sea of Thieves is good now, but day one it was
launch was abysmal, dude. It had zero fucking not zero content. It was lacking.
No, you're right. It had zero content.
no, it had content.
lacking.
It had the ocean.
I played
That's
that. I will never forget. I bring this story up. I was in a party with Dealer, Colt, and some other guys, right? I'm playing Sea of Thieves with Dealer, and 33 minutes in, Colt hops in the party like, "Hey, let me know when you guys are free, and I can take my spot." Take my spot. I'm out of here. And I hopped out the party. I was like, "See you later, guys. I'm out of here." I hopped out the party and I fucking uninstalled Sea of Thieves. Okay, now I understand the Sea of Thieves right now is awesome. A shout out to my boy Zocker, he loves it, But I'm just saying, like, the way it launched. Someone hit me up the other day, and they were like, "Hey, Luca, have you gone back to State of Decay 2?" And I'm just like,
Oh, State of Decay 2 is amazing right now.
No, I haven't gone back to State of Decay 2.
State of Disaster.
Okay, this is what he said. It's Window Woods. He's like, "Have you gone back to play State of Decay 2 since launch?" Okay. I played it myself for the first time last September. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, what did he say? The last update, which was update 33, called Heart Attack, they actually changed the mechanics of the game. This is clearly a test a test bed for State of Decay 3, so I would expect how the game plays now to be a part of State of Decay 3. They have come such a long way, and I see why it's done so well these last few years with increasing numbers, And he's like, "Did the initial start just ruin it for you, or have you been back to see how Undead Labs has done with improving the game since launch?" And awesome, it made some excellent points here. But for me, I was just like,
did you ask him how long did that actually take for them
I'm
to do?
not going back to State of Decay. Like, just like with Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Fallout 76, there's just like, I understand that they're awesome now, but I ain't going back, man. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not going back. But shout out to Phase 23, BK, and Y saying, "You fell through the floor with Mooch and Crap." Yes, I will never forget. I was playing State of Decay 2, Mooch, Crap, and all day, right? We're playing together. My ass fell through the fucking floor. I was like, "Brother, get me out of this fucking game, dude. Get me out of this shit, man."
I didn't really like State of Decay 2 because I know they kind of corrected this with one of their expansions that goes back to what was it, Trumbo Valley, which is the stage of the first game. I really liked State of Decay 1. I really enjoyed that game. I did not like the very dynamic storytelling they were doing because it was like, it didn't make sense. Like for example, I would have another a group of survivors living in a house. I tried to convert the church into my base of operations, and I had like these other survivors living in a house down the street, and they hated me because I wasn't giving them any resources. So they were just like, next time we see you, you know, it's going to be a problem. We're going to spin the block. You know what I'm saying? And so then, like, literally 5 minutes later,
Was the block spun?
no, because literally 5 minutes later, they're calling me on the radio saying, hey, can you come by? We need you to settle a dispute. I thought it was a setup. I'm like, wait, you trying to set me up? Like, no, you just said you just threatened my life. Now I go there and no, it literally is a completely different scenario, as if we're cool and they got an issue with one of their people in their membership that they need me to make a decision on. Why would you have your worst enemy do that? It's like that dynamic storytelling didn't make any sense. So it was just like, I really kind of checked out on the game after that, because it was just like, this is kind of blowing me. But I do appreciate the fact that like they changed this to make it more traditional storytelling later on with other expansions. But it's just that happens a lot with like the bigger games that they come out with, and we have to address and acknowledge that like if you look at their average Metacritic score, that it's right there with Sony on for the past like 2 or 3 years. Is you got games that have scored really high, like Pentiment, that even though much smaller game, but people who played it, I played it, very, very good story. For what they intended to do, they accomplished that goal. Microsoft Flight Simulator does really good. It scores really well. They get games that score well, but it's the bigger AAA titles, it's the bigger products that people are looking for that always release with something missing. Halo Infinite missing without coming out with no content.
Mind you, I completed the battle pass. I did the attrition battle pass. I did the oh my goodness, what was the samurai event called?
Say again. Which one?
Fractured Tensai, I think.
Yeah, like one of the little limited events they do.
I fucking 100% did that. So I played all of season 1, had a blast. Okay. But bitch, you know, I did everything. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was like, all right. And then I went back briefly for season 2. I did an entire video about it, discussing my perspective, my thoughts, and why, you know, I wouldn't be continuing to play the game. Because during that time, people were so tired of hearing us talk about this goddamn Halo Infinite having issues. So like, but yeah, like, you know, 100% on that. But yeah,
and it's fine now, but it should have been fine at launch. So like,
yeah,
they should have delayed the game another year, and all the content that they added would have been there. And then, you know, when the 3rd season hit and they actually started having Spartans that look right, you know, it didn't have, you know, scraped up dirty paint peeling off their armor Spartans.
Call them out, brother.
Like then it was just like, hey, this is, and I'm playing by myself. This is fire. Anyone here? No, there's no one here. You know, I'm in Team Slayer, fighting the same like 7 people.
Yeah, it's just, I'm telling you, I hate to say this, but unfortunately, when it comes to games not launching well, even if games are fucking fire now, there are still people who are gonna, casuals even, who are gonna look back like, wasn't that the game that launched like trash? You know what I'm saying? Wasn't that the game that launched broken? Wasn't that the game that launched without anything to do? Like, there are still people who are gonna say that, and while, you know, and there are people who are not going to go back, man. I'm not going back to most of these games. Now, Autumn, Wendell, and Erodimus have all said something positive about State of Decay 2, how it is now. I'll check out some gameplay to see how it is. But
Luca, as someone who plays, I have something to add, because I still State of Decay 2 to this day, because I am an avid fan. I've been with them since the beginning. And to Stomo's point, I will say the storytelling is more now, where you have your community, one of your members of your community, they all have like either a warlord, a builder, or a trader, and it's the end thing that you go for, and then it completes the story. So however you want to end the story. So they have that in there, but they've improved it so much now that it's such a joy to play. And the fact that I know it's a AA game, like people still think it's for some reason it's a triple. It's not. It's just
they're marketing. They're marketing.
They're marketing it.
I mean, people for some reason still think this. It's because that's what they said, Singer.
They said AAA all the way.
All right,
And-
don't act like you don't remember them saying
was
that
the
shit, man.
community manager that was running that Twitter account for Undead Labs probably regrets ever saying that.
I'm sorry. I don't want people to lose their jobs. My bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, most
you're just oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna skip over that. Yes,
Okay,
they said
all
that,
right,
but
all right.
in reality, it was a double A. If you played it, you understood.
No, I mean
This
I
was not a
understand that it's a
AAA
double
experience.
fucking A game, but like that's why people were saying it's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, it's first impressions. Thank you, Blast. I hear you, Singer. I will check it out, man.
They also never corrected it. So Undead Labs said it was going to be a AAA game. And then whoever said that didn't know what AAA, what any of the A's means, which is like why you got that person in that role to begin with. But then people like Aaron Greenberg didn't say, "Oh no, there's a perception of this game that is not accurate." And when people see it and start playing it, they're going to be like, "This is not a AAA game," and that's going to be a problem. They didn't correct it, so it didn't become this ain't no AAA game until people were playing it. And that's the problem. You ain't making a AAA game with 50 people.
Yeah. And also,
that
point about unfinished games. But if you look at history, the most successful games right now, all unfinished. GTA 5 came out. Where was the online? I was promised online at launch. Guess what? You had to wait 2 weeks. Because of reasons, I guess. Then you had World of Warcraft. Came out. Yeah, not gonna work. Eventually became good. Final Fantasy 14, holy shit, they had to remake the entire game before that even became good. Then you had Fortnite, came out as a not very fun.
I remember. I played that shit with all
It's
day.
hard to describe what Fortnite Save the World was. It's kind of hard to describe what that. It's like
Cult, I think,
Minecraft and.
No, I mean,
yeah,
I think that's a good point, Singer. All the these are very extremely popular games, and they've launched unfinished. That's a good point. So it's just not a good precedent to set, but I can understand your perspective on that.
And those games have thriving communities now. Like Sea of Thieves has a thriving community.
Yes,
now.
it does.
It is a successful game. Grounded.
So is Fallout 76. Grounded as well. Yeah.
Fallout 76 started out garbage, thriving community now. So like it can work. But it's just that like for a lot of people who were excited for it, that initial disappointment and the like you didn't have to launch it the way you did. You just, not saying lucky, but you were it was beneficial to that for you that finally you figured out what needed to happen. There were people who were willing to give it another chance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, and those are also a lot of casuals. So, all right. So, okay, real quick. So I'm going to go through some of these replies based on what Colin said. I'm going to go through the ones that were, I can't go through all of them, obviously, because fucking Twitter. But okay. So Rodimus says in response to Colin saying, my question is, what is the alternative? Microsoft just continues to get destroyed and leaves gaming. Then we're left with just PlayStation and Nintendo. Is that better for us as the consumer? I do not think it would be. Thoughts?
Say that again, because I couldn't hear you.
Oh, you couldn't?
No.
What were you doing?
Yeah.
I couldn't. Well, then you answer since you heard it.
No, because you the one that asked her to say it again.
I didn't hear.
Wait, did you guys hear me?
Apparently they heard you. I couldn't hear you. I don't know. Maybe it was something going on with my headset.
Oh, did you guys hear me in the chat? Because listen, somehow, for some reason, my little holder for my mic is like broken, and I have no idea how I broke it. So I'm just asking.
So would you hold your mic the whole time?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that broken. It's just broken in one place, so the mic is not in the same position it's usually in.
Okay, so I mean, I'm willing to answer. Just like what was the statement?
Okay, so shout out to Face 23 BKNY saying, "Do you think Spider-Man 2 will have a 60 FPS mode?"
Absolutely,
yes. Absolutely,
yeah,
not even a question. All right, thank you guys in the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Slow-Mo, but I will repeat myself. I said. Can you hear me, Slow-Mo?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. I said, my question is, what is the alternatives from Rodimus? Microsoft continues to get destroyed and leaves gaming, then we're just left with just PlayStation and Nintendo. Is that better for us as the consumer?
That's not better for us as a consumer, and that's something that I addressed on Crossfire last night, because people were under this really misguided, I'm not gonna say cult-like, but weird assumption that Sony would not take advantage of being basically having less competition by also treating us even worse, gamers even worse, when they don't have as much competition, forcing them to be fair. That's just business, period. No matter the industry, no matter the market, if you have less competition, then you are free to charge more for less content. You're free to just up prices whenever you feel like it. What's the alternative? Where else you gonna go? You know, so like it's just like when you don't have more options, then it's just worse off for the actual consumer, the gamers. More competition is better. So if Microsoft did leave the market, that would not be good.
Yeah, it would be a bad thing. Shout out to X-Men saying, I still play Halo Master Chief Collection. It's perfect now. Hey, that's nice to hear. Okay, guys. Yeah. So we answered it. We already know. Wouldn't be good. What's the alternative? Singer, Nautical, if you guys have any like alternatives.
It's literally it's the worst possible outcome. It's like you don't want it to just be Sony, because Nintendo realistically, Sony will just jack up its prices because it's known Nintendo is in its own little lane in its handheld / hybrid market. Whereas Sony is in the home consoles. They'll be like, oh, if Microsoft gets out of here, $100 games? Oh, yeah, and you're going to like it, because what's your option? Nintendo or PC? And you're not going to go out and spend $3,000 on a PC.
Salute to Skill Black Mamba. I think I would appreciate it if people stop throwing out these outrageous fucking numbers for getting into PC gaming. Can y'all stop doing that?
3, 4, 5, like you're going up 1,000 every second. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not that
like
much.
I spent more on my PC because it was during that time. What was it? They were like crypto mining the cards or some shit like that. Yep. What was it? They couldn't keep up with demand. Like, I spent more on my PC, right, than what I would have spent like if they weren't fucked in that industry right there. But like, I spent like $2,200 or something like that for my PC, right? So it's just like, but I went and I bought like a PC from Corsair, you know? There are other alternatives where you can get a cheaper build, you know? It's not automatically $3,000 and $4,000. $3,000 and $4,000 PCs are high-end fucking PCs. And oh my God. And the majority of people who play on Steam, based on their surveys, what is that called?
Steam surveys.
Yeah, based on their surveys, play on a fucking, what is it, 1080p or some shit?
Oh, yeah, it's not 1060 anymore. It's a 1660.
We moved up a generation, y'all.
Yeah. Okay, 1660 Gi. When did the 1660 Gi come out?
Oh, good grief.
2016.
Okay, what year is it now? It's 2023, which means most people are playing. They're not playing on the fucking $3,000, $4,000 fucking PCs, man. They're not playing on those kinds of PCs.
They're still playing.
So please stop throwing out those outrageous numbers talking about people got to spend all that money in order to get into PC gaming. It's just not true. You don't have to spend all of that money to get into PC gaming. You do have to spend. Hold on. You do have to spend more than $550. But you're going to have to make that decision for yourself. You're going to have to make the decision. Hey, am I going to spend another $550 to play another game at 720p, shaky 60 frames, or at 1440p upscaled 30 frames per second? You got to make that decision for yourself what you want to play on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will spend more than 550, but you got to decide for yourself if the better performance and graphics is worth it for you. You know, it really just comes down to that. But it's not $3,000 and $4,000 to get into PC gaming. It's just not true.
The thing about that 3,000, so I'm gonna address this now. That's an exaggeration. I'm a PC gamer. I know you don't need that much. That's an exaggeration on my part, because it's people think it costs a shit ton to get into gaming. I know it doesn't. Slow-mo knows it doesn't. Anyone who plays on PC knows it doesn't cost that much. You could build a perfectly good box for like 1,000. There is so many different ways to get into it, but the exaggeration is there for the effect of the exaggeration. I'm not saying it costs.
It's also because they see people acquire pre-built gaming PCs, guys that don't want to build it themselves, or they don't know how to and don't want to learn how to, but they want the 4090. They want the most powerful PC that you can possibly buy, and then they also don't know the actual value of the components that's going into the PC, and then they go spend literally $3,000 for no reason.
They that's what they want to do. They're big rollers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's their prerogative,
okay,
but it's just that's not reality, for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rexman saying, and Luca, people can buy a pre-made PC on a payment plan. Yeah, if you got good credit, you can do that as well, but only if you got some good credit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what are you showing me right now?
So
hold on, Nautical. What are you showing right now? Or sorry, Nautical, this is you.
Yeah,
okay,
this is me.
talk to me.
So this is another reason why playing on PC isn't as bad, because you can go to websites like this, and right now they're doing a summer sale, summer sale. So, but we're looking like a lot of these games, like WWE just came out like 7 months ago, it's half off. A lot like Hogwarts Legacy on PC, $47.
You could get it cheaper.
You can get it. Yeah, it could even be even cheaper than this.
Because there's other websites. Yeah,
there's other websites.
This is right now showing older games. There are games that are still on pre-order, and you'll see games on sale.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Let's look at coming soon here. Starfield, $57. 57 already on discount.
It'll be cheaper before it comes out too.
Yeah, you can even get it cheaper than that.
Atlas Fallen 41.
Ratchet and Clank 47.
40.
Wait, hold. Remnant 2's what?
$40.
40.
All right, go ahead and send that to me, Nautical. Go ahead and send that to me, my boy. Go ahead and send that to me.
Right? Ratchet and Clank comes out in a few weeks, and it's $50 there.
$50. Armor Cores 52.
Yeah, it's just
this is where you save the money at.
The biggest downfall for PC gaming is when your shit stops working and you did get like a pre-build or something and you're like, fuck, how do I fix this? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest downside, the tinkering. People don't want to fucking tinker. But like at the same time, it's like PCs have come a long way and pre-builds have come a long way. It's not like that one fucking video. I can't remember what site it was, but there was like this YouTube video and they put together a PC, and the way they put the PC together was so fucking atrocious that multiple tech channels had to come out and say, what are y'all doing? Do you guys remember?
The Verge? I think it was The Verge.
I think it was The Verge, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not like terrible. That anymore. You can find a good pre-built PC that's not gonna fuck you over, dude. So it's just like yeah, but okay, but yeah, let me look through more of these comments. All right, and then Sam Walton says, if Microsoft were just entering the market, I would be right in line with them making the moves they're making with publishers. But they've been doing this for 20 years. Now they're just trying to take all options away from everyone else, effectively taking away competition. What do you guys think about that perspective?
I feel like this is competition, and this is the competition that Microsoft should have always been doing, because they never used what their greatest strength was, which was their bankroll, in order to put themselves in a position to be successful. I credit them a lot for the 360 generation, because they did some amazing things during that generation. But guess what? People don't realize they spent money during that generation, but they also benefited from the fact that PlayStation kind of had a misstep that generation. You had the whole,
It still lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it still ended up losing, but PlayStation had the misstep with having to get a second job, and then you had the PSN outage for like 2 months. So it was a lot of things that just happened, but then they came back. But games also ran better on the Xbox 360. So that was another reason why a lot of people, gravitated to that system. So I give them credit for that. But ultimately, they never had the full backing of what Microsoft was willing to give them until now. And this is the one thing I wanted to say earlier. I'm glad we kind of circled around to it. The reason that they're doing stuff like this now is because the old way of getting people into your content is dying. People are not going to the stores or anything like that. They're buying their games digitally, and then on top of it, they're playing a lot of the games that are like free to play and stuff like that, or games that they can put long amounts of hours and stuff into and stuff like that. And Microsoft is like, okay, the people that played games 20 years ago aren't the same people that's going to be playing games in the next 15 to 20 years.
I mean, yeah, the way the kids are playing games now, the way the kids are consuming music and content. I mean, we can also talk about the way kids are not consuming those books, but anyway, we can just move on from that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, like, no, I hear what you're saying on that for sure.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing that's kind of happening here. So you got to kind of just realize that and say they're trying to future-proof themselves in a completely different way because they know that the way that they're doing stuff now is not going to be successful. And they want to get ahead of that by doing things they're doing now.
100%. So then I got these two comments. One by Shu Miles, I think that's how you say his name. Saying, I will say this. I do understand the idea of how weird it is to cheer on a company full of rich bigwigs who have never truly respected gamers or gaming and now want to buy popularity back after screwing up last gen, trying to appeal to the TV watcher, not the gamers. And then Light Shadow Onyx says, why shouldn't Microsoft buy Activision to help them build their mobile division? Sony bought Bungie to help them with their live service games. How do you think Sony got ahead when they brought out the PlayStation 1 console? They took games away from Sega and Nintendo. Now, I don't know anything about any of that stuff. I am.
I can confirm.
Will my older gentleman, discuss what happened during those generations? Because I didn't start gaming on like the PlayStation platform until PlayStation 2. So.
PS1, initially no one wanted to work with them because at that time it was Sega and Nintendo were the two dominant players. And then as they were releasing the PlayStation, developers weren't sure about the 3D until Sega brought out Virtual Fighter. And Virtual Fighter brought 3D to the forefront. And then PlayStation realized they had the hardware, but they needed the software. Now this is where Sony Interactive Entertainment comes in because they purchased Psygnosis, which is a European developer at the time, which then later became SIE for what it is now. And they went to all the developers and got all their games and just started hoarding and hoarding and hoarding. They went to literally everyone they could find, and they did, as he even said in the actual interview about the PS1, they did everything they could. Doesn't matter what it is, they did whatever they had to do to make sure all these games were coming over to the PlayStation. And you saw it paid off with the PS2. That's why Grand Theft Auto was exclusive. You had Final Fantasy was exclusive because Final Fantasy wanted to get away from the cartridge. And so they went disc-based, and the only one doing that was PlayStation at the time. Sega did have disc, but unfortunately, we know what happened there.
But that had nothing, like Sega never had Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That was Nintendo, and that was Nintendo's fault for losing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Right. So Leaky, I do remember this. Sega kept coming out with consoles. Like, okay, Leaky said Sega killed themselves. They kept coming out with consoles. PS Rewind, Sega destroyed themselves. Sega couldn't make good hardware. Sega was already
good.
I think their Dreamcast was awesome.
I think he's saying they couldn't make good hardware in the sense that they just kept releasing shit, right? They just kept releasing things. Sega was already fucking up by how they kept releasing consoles every few years. Sega made many fumbles, then told retailers and publishers to suck it up. Sega's mismanagement between Japan and US is what killed Sega in the console market.
I do agree with that. I'm not saying that like PlayStation's business practices didn't play a part, but it was not the death nail on Sega as a platform holder. The death nail on Sega as a platform holder is Sega. Their mismanagement, them pricing things and coming out with all this hardware when they did not have the funding to actually make it work. Their best probably could have been their best console. They couldn't actually support and had to cut support of it, at the end, which is the Dreamcast. And it's like that could have been the one for them. But it's just and I even like the Saturn. But I love
the Saturn.
But it's just and they had forward thinking ideas with their hardware that was good ideas, but it's just like their mismanagement made it didn't mean anything. They made it easy for PlayStation. And I think a lot of that gets left behind. I think there are a lot of Sega fanboys that turned Xbox fanboys that are a little upset. They're like 45, 50-year-old men that are still upset about what happened to Sega. And they have kind of have a little bit of revisionist history.
Too far off from that 45.
I wasn't a Sega fanboy. I was a Nintendo fanboy in high school, so that wasn't me.
You say what?
Yeah. Look, man. Look,
what happened?
What happened? I still had a Nintendo 64, but when Final Fantasy went to PlayStation, I went to PlayStation because I wasn't missing Final Fantasy anyway. That's not the point. The point is that there are a lot of angry old Sega fans that blame PlayStation for what happened to Sega instead of looking at Sega and be like, y'all screwed yourself up.
Yeah.
Did we need a 32X? No,
we didn't need a jack.
Man, I'm looking through these replies. I got some actual like in between people just being like, "Fuck Colin." I did get some really good replies. Someone said, and this is like so Wesley. He says, it's very tribalism. So yeah, it is the same as sports fanatics. They will only see through their clouded bias. Anything else is unimportant to them. Now, I think Colin is a very, very intelligent and well-spoken person. But he does have a preference for PlayStation. And I know that he's called PlayStation out before, but ultimately his preference is PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. None of us should really be cheering on these corporations like this because capitalism, they don't really, I mean, capitalism's fine, but like they don't really care about us. You know what I'm saying? Like Sony, Jim Lion Ryan isn't called Jim Lion Ryan he's called that for a fucking reason, So it's like, but like, I think that we all have our own personal biases and perspectives. Everyone they get so worked up when you call them like a bot or a pony because they automatically think that it's like, because I'm assigned that label, then it turns out that my perspective isn't accurate or isn't something that should be taken into consideration. Right. And that is true in certain regards. That is true because there are some PlayStation guys or some Xbox guys where I'm like, well, you're just crazy. And you're going to defend anything that Microsoft does. You're going to defend anything PlayStation does. So I don't even care what you have to say. And you've already been written off. But if you are actually, but then again, crazy people don't know that they're crazy. So there's that. Like they don't know that they're nuts. So there's that. Right. But if you're actually someone who is level-headed enough to at least acknowledge and admit like, okay, they shouldn't be doing this or they shouldn't have done that. I like this corporation. I like what they can give me, but like that is fucked up. If you are someone who can do that, then you're good. Even if you do have a preference and a bias towards something, having a preference and a bias towards something doesn't automatically mean that you're automatically going to take the side of the thing that you like, like Okay. So shout out to Phase 23 BKNY. With the big dono, I appreciate you. What's the clip singer?
Oh, you must be looking at something else separately.
Yeah. Shout out to with the big dono, appreciate you, my boy, saying if a PS5 Pro comes out next year and Xbox doesn't release a Pro version of their consoles, would that be a problem for Microsoft? And would you buy a Pro console? Yes, it would be a problem for Microsoft. No, I'm not going to buy another PlayStation as it stands right now. Because like we thought that these consoles would be doing 60 no problem. That is just not the fucking case. I understand like Final Fantasy 16 does have a 60 frames per second mode, but it has issues and it has issues. So for me, I would have to be like, I need like y'all to give me a couple years to see what this shit is hitting for. Like, is this going to be another case of yeah, it does 60, but, or is it like actually going to be powerful? Now, is it going to be a problem for Microsoft? Absolutely. What do you mean you're not releasing a fucking next gen or a mid gen refresh? Are you insane? You're just going to let Sony dog walk you in terms of power? Like that's, I mean, in my
after
opinion,
saying we will never allow them to do that again. Here
yeah,
you
like
are allowing it again.
That would be a mistake, right? I miss all days, but like, yeah, that would be a mistake, man. And
yeah,
so
I'm not getting one.
I'm not getting a Pro though. Like as it stands right now, currently in my current mindset, I don't have any interest in buying a PS5 Pro.
So the question is, would you buy another Xbox though?
No.
If they did do it? So why do they need to make one?
for the people who do care about the power narrative on console, because no matter, I'll give an example like Fonz, right? No matter, because Fonz has been a PC gamer before, but he's like, ultimately, I just prefer playing on the console. I just prefer the console ecosystem. I want to be in the console. They need this. They would need to release. Oh my goodness, they would need to release a mid-gen refresh, in my opinion, because of how it would look from a public perception. You know, like those Digital Foundry videos, man, that shit's gonna be hitting. That'll be hitting different, man. People gonna be looking at them sideways, like, what's going on? Your shit's trash. You know. So what I'm
basically,
saying?
what we're saying is we're willing to spend close to 1,000 to. Not you. I'm just saying these people. So these people. Oh, we'll say Fonz because we know Fonz is a console gamer. So what we're saying is Fonz would be willing to spend $1,000 on consoles in the next 5 to 6 years, because if we do a refresh, that's in the next 2. You already know they're making the next system.
Who bought an Xbox One?
I did.
At launch. Who has an Xbox? Who had an Xbox One S?
Me.
I did.
Okay. Who had an Xbox One X?
Okay, yeah, I had a One X.
Had an X,
and I had the original Xbox, and I had a PS4, original PS4, but I did not get a PS4 Pro.
So the ask that question is pointless. PS4 Pro. It's a question. Why would you even ask that?
Because because you got to look
at
it like
a Pro. Did anyone get a PS4 Pro?
I didn't buy my Pro, but I had one.
Okay, so it's just like asking that, like, people are willing to spend $1,000.
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
people. No, I know people are willing.
No,
I know people are willing, but it comes back to. I just feel like at a certain point, this is where I got with consoles and stuff. Now, they're not. It's like it's once again, we're hoping.
That mid-gen refresh becomes way more important later in the generation than it does earlier in the generation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As these developers get more comfortable with the newer architecture and newer techniques and stuff, it's going to be harder for this Xbox Series X and this PS5 to be able to consistently be able to crank out games that can have a 60 FPS mode. And that's why they're doing a mid-gen refresh.
No, and I agree. That's why they're doing it, because I do agree that one needs to happen to get better performance. I'm just saying, just speaking for myself, I have to see a reason why.
I mean, you don't have to do that. You have a PC. You have a very capable
but
PC.
Not for my PlayStation.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean,
I already know I'm not.
Would you buy a Pro
listen,
for
if
a
Xbox
PlayStation?
did it, there's no reason for me to do it, because
would you buy a Pro for a PlayStation?
No, there's no reason for me to right now.
Okay,
I will only buy a PS5 Pro if a PlayStation first party game comes out that does not have a 60 FPS mode on the regular PS5 and they're still staggering those releases to PC. Yes, I'm getting the PS5 Pro.
I will give an example. Let me tell you, I'm sure people can guess what I'm about to say as what would be my reason to get a Pro. All right. Now this isn't going to happen. All right. Yes. If Blue Point came through saying we did a Bloodborne remake, it's going to be on the PS5 Pro. That's the only way you can get 60. I'm like, here's my money. Like, say less.
You have
a reason. Like, I would have a reason. Yes.
That's the reason. Like, they have to. It's like everybody's been on this hope and prayer of like, oh, we're going to get this. And they're going off of the words what people say. Like, if that, like, I put it this way, would I get a PS5 Pro? Only I wouldn't get it day one. I would have to see what games are going to be taking advantage of it to the point where I'm like, oh, if like Slomo just said, if there's this magical game out there that they make and it's going to run a solid lock 60 frames per second on that system, then yeah. But if it's not going to do that and it's going to be like, oh well, you're going to get like 50 to 60 or 55, you're going to stay around 60 more than anything, but you're going to fall below it a little bit. I'm like, no, I need rocks. If I'm going to give you $500 or $600, probably $500. If I'm going to spend $500 more on top of what I already gave you, I'll just keep what I got. And I'll just wait until, because I think that's the biggest difference. Like Slomo, he said he's not going to wait, to play the games. He said he can wait for he can wait for those games to hit PC. I can too, and I'll just wait with the PlayStation I got.
It depends on what the game is, dude. Shout out to you.
If I really feel in the game, I'm not waiting.
I listen.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting.
I'm saying slow mo. He can't wait. I can wait.
Yeah,
I'm
No,
good.
I hear you. I definitely hear you. Okay, wait, hold on. So, real quick, I just want to read this comment real quick. Like I said, I got some really smart replies in my replies, but Kurt
smart
TJ
people.
says,
That's why.
while I agree with him and that I don't support consolidation, more specifically this deal, I think the analogy doesn't fit the console market. And but his point that Microsoft versus Sony, Nintendo can create inequities in the industry isn't lost. Yeah, no, here's my thing. This is my issue with analogies, and I'll say it like this. If you can't make your point without making an analogy, then perhaps your point like isn't that great. You know what I mean? Like if it can't stand on its own merits, then maybe you should like articulate it in a different way. Like I don't like analogies. Like I get annoyed listening to them. I'm just like, can you just speak straight? Like I don't want to hear a fucking analogy. You know what I'm saying? A shout out to my boo Mooch. he loves his food analogies. But like I don't want to hear like that stuff, man. I want to hear you make your point and have it be related to your point. I don't want to hear any sort of analogies. And since I don't know anything about sports, I was like, dude, I don't know what you're saying. So, but people did, like people in the replies were like, well, that makes sense. And some other people were like, no, that doesn't make sense, like slow-mo. So So Brian, okay, shout out to God's Zealot saying, I can see an Xbox Pro with no disc tray. Yeah, I can see that too.
Oh, I can see that too.
I can definitely see that too.
I can see a version of the
Appreciate
Pro
you. Thank you.
with no disc tray, but I don't think they're willing to do a whole like SKU. And that SKU, that power SKU only has
what do you think of those rumors of the new Pro being the one that you can buy the detachable disc drive for?
I think that's true. Yeah,
so
I mean, because like that's coming from Tom Henderson, Inside Gaming. He's the one that came up with that, was the first one to talk about that stupid handheld thing they're doing.
Yeah,
he's the first one to say that. That turned out to be true. Everything that he said in regards to like what PlayStation is doing with their hardware has so far turned out to be accurate. So there is a PS5 Pro. More than likely there is a detachable drive that probably will work with the digital PS5s, as well as anything else they come out with that's just digital only. And they probably will announce that at some point. But yeah, his stuff has been pretty accurate.
Yeah, okay, so now, okay, Nautical, I sent you a link. If you could share it, please.
You sent me a link.
Because you're the one who can get on Twitter, since you're never on Twitter anyway. So you have your
right.
I actually am not locked out. You're right. I didn't scroll enough.
Yeah, so if you could just open up and then we'll play.
We're
going to talk about Call of Duty. All right, and what Ryan said about Call of Duty.
Right. Tab. Here it is, right here.
Jim Ryan on COD. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, we're gonna go down. We're gonna go. Okay, hold on.
Let me blow this up some.
Okay, scroll down to where it says place. Ryan didn't have concerns about COD, and it's right above this picture of him. This black with the black and blue background.
Right here. Let me blow it up.
Yeah, please get it closer. Thank you. All right. A little bit closer.
A little more?
Yeah. All right. Scroll up. Scroll up.
Oh, scroll up.
Yeah. All right. Right there. Right there. Okay. We're going to go from here and then down. Okay. I don't want to read any of that shit up top. I don't want to talk about it. All right. Because I'm not trying to be here all night. So who wants to volunteer to read this? Because I'm about to step away for a moment.
But shouldn't you scroll up a little bit more? Wasn't there more of this email than what is there?
Yes.
But it wasn't a long email.
She said she didn't want
it. Never mind. All right,
are you not like, what's going on? Are you not listening to me?
I am listening to you.
I literally just said
I don't want to see everything else. I thought you were just talking about the article, not the email. Because I thought what was quoted was just the email.
No, I meant like I don't want to go through this entire article because I don't care about.
Well, I didn't say scroll all the way up to the top. I said a little bit further up. So that's what I said. Thank you.
It's right here, further up.
Oh man, here we go.
Or up higher.
You know what? Whatever. I will
No,
read it.
I'm asking. Like, do you?
No, I thought it was pretty clear, and you're like questioning me like I wasn't. But
no, I mean, I'm just trying to understand. Did you want us to start from here? Because
I couldn't see what was above it. I thought there was
this
more
is up here.
in the
It's up here.
part.
It's all this stuff slow mo.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I do not want to read all that. No.
All right, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, no, man, I didn't understand what you. Have you seen this article? Like, did you go through it yourself yet? Or
No.
I went through it earlier, and it's just like, it's like them talking about what he said. Xbox is for shooting things, and it's talking about that stuff. That's why
the pew pew box.
Yeah, it's the pew pew box, and he talked about how Xbox is
Not anymore.
consumers.
It's the Western RPG box now, but anyway,
he said Xbox is consumers. Like, that's why I didn't want to discuss like the entire article. I just want to discuss this point right here.
Okay. I believe Microsoft intends to use Call of Duty to disadvantage PlayStation in terms of the availability or the manner in which the game is made available on PlayStation consoles, and to drive PlayStation gamers to Xbox platforms, specifically Game Pass. And am I supposed to read the quote down here? Well, scroll back down to that part. I told him, Bobby Kotick, that I thought the transaction was anti-competitive. I hope that the regulators would do their job and block it. Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. All right. Okay, what else am I supposed
Here's another quote.
To read that? I don't know.
Just read the quote.
Because publishers have every incentive to provide an equal gaming experience, or as good a gaming experience as possible on all platforms. Which other developers said it was ridiculous that they would make a version that's worse. All right, I told him, Bob. I just said that.
Oh, that was the quote. Yeah. Here's the other one.
What Bobby wanted to do was cover himself by extending the marketing collaboration between Sony and Activision in the event of the transaction not proceeding. Interesting. I didn't read that before. One of the reasons why we are investing massively in first-party development and publishing is to provide us with an edge against pressure on a historic business model. Having a business model where you own elements from top to bottom increases your ability to be self-determinant.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I'm not reading all that. Okay, so look, I guess we can just talk about, like, you know.
Yeah.
I thought we were reading the email that he sent to a different president in Sony, where he was saying that he wasn't worried about the transaction, and that we got our own stuff cooking, you know, we'll be good to go. I don't know.
Xbox is for shooting things. Not anymore. Oh yeah. Man.
All right, well, okay, so thoughts on this singer. What you think about this, man? Singer. Okay, Forte, what do you think about this?
I mean, listen, man, it's interesting because listen, he's trying to cover, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I understand, like, the overall narrative of why, because like I said, even out of context, if you think about, you got to go all the way to the top, and all the questions that were being asked, like talking about, well, what is actually Xbox, and the fact that he still thinks it's the shooter box. I mean, you kind of took that crown away from them back in 2014 when you took COD and made it PlayStation the platform of choice for that game. That's kind of when they lost, you know, the avenue of being the shooter box. So I think he's kind of, you know, living in the past when it comes to that. I just also think that, you know, like I said, he shot just like everybody else, because Xbox has never had the full backing of what Microsoft is doing for the company right now. And that's something that they can't compete with. You know, that's why, you know, when you look at this part right here, he says, we consider Nintendo to participate in a different market segment to Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo's hardware technology is less sophisticated in nature than PlayStation and Xbox. Its hardware typically retails for a cheaper price, and its audience is aimed rather younger. I still feel like even that it's just like
isn't the Nintendo Switch the same price as the Switch
S.
OLED? Actually, is more expensive than the Xbox.
It's the same
Series
price
S.
as the new Xbox, the OLED, $349.
Yeah,
it is $50 away from the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5 digital system. So I just think that, you know, man, people just making these arguments that make no sense, because I'm like, first of all, you're trying to separate Nintendo out of the category because you're saying, oh, it's not a high-end system, but games are still being, when you walk into a store, you have to like decide. Like, people literally make decisions on if they buy this game or that game because of how much money they have. Yeah. And yes, a lot of people will choose.
Also,
why you
Luca makes a good point in the chat.
They
have plans to put Call of Duty on the Switch. The Bobby Kodak said the only reason he didn't put it on the Switch is that he didn't think it would be successful.
Well, it's a lot
initially,
of people.
Yeah, and so
remember,
I guess he's too far into the pipeline. Doesn't have any available developers or anything, which also kind of makes it interesting that Microsoft promised 10 years of it to Nintendo to actually make a version on there now. But he said that if this deal doesn't go through, he's going to be considering putting Call of Duty on Nintendo going into the future. So, like, I mean, really, which is basically a lot of stuff sells over there, and I like money, so take advantage of this, 100 million plus community and start selling our game over there, even though it will probably stink on it and not be as good, but hey, they're going to make it work. Go ahead, man. You were saying something.
No, I was saying, but then like you read this one right here where he offered up, how clarification on how the benefits of having third-party exclusives on PlayStation, the development efforts required to make that game reduces, because the game studio can streamline development. That's similar to the Bethesda. P. said that one day Starfield being exclusive, but the FTC has been arguing that the exclusives are bad for competition, and that's Microsoft purchased Bethesda and kept games like Redfall, Starfield, and the upcoming Indiana Jones game off PlayStation 5. Ryan expects these games to remain on PlayStation after Microsoft acquired Bethesda. But I also remember, it's also revisionist history. Now, this is what Jim Ryan was thinking, I guess. But remember when I think it was when Sean Layton was at Sony still, and he was still the head, or it might have been Andrew House. Well, they were there together at the time. But didn't they make a phone call when Mojang got purchased by Microsoft, and they said, "Hey, are you going to remove Minecraft off of PlayStation?"
Yeah, and they said no, and so. But the thing is that's not really. He's not talking about Minecraft because that was like in 2014, 2015.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's his way of thinking. Whereas I would never, like, if it was me or you. So would you assume? Would you just assume that stuff's going to stay on your platform no matter what?
I would assume so. Look, if I have precedent that's already been set previously, and two, I see differently, I can see an expectation that things will remain the same. Now, when it comes to the individual acquisitions like of Obsidian and Ninja Theory and Double Fine and all of them, yeah, like you acquired them. Their games are going to be exclusive outside the stuff that they'd already had like in development when you acquired them. When you acquire something of the magnitude of ZeniMax Media, then that's when you start to say, well, we look back at Minecraft and we saw that they kept Minecraft on here, even though that they spent about $2.2 billion on their IP and studio. So even though it was not clear up until that live stream they did with Bethesda, where Phil Spencer said these games would be where Game Pass is, it wasn't clear because they at no point were they ever definitive on what was going to happen. They were always kind of punting whenever that any interviews people would ask that question. They will always say, "Oh, we can't talk about it right now legally." But look, they've been talking about this stuff. They don't have Activision Blizzard yet. They've been talking about this every 5 seconds. But I think that things changed the PlayStation side of things somewhat when ZeniMax Media turned out to be exclusive for the most part, except for stuff that was already on PlayStation. Then that's when they said, all right, well, when they start making these other acquisitions, we're going to actually fight it. Because we now know that we're not going to keep those games. And then, I mean, I think it may have been a little bit different if it wasn't Activision, the biggest publisher. If it was, say, Ubisoft, I don't think this would be the bigger deal that it is. Or Sega, it wouldn't be this big a deal. I don't even think they would have opposed it. But because it's Activision, and it's not because they think they're not going to get Call of Duty anymore. They, as Jim Ryan said, he knew the right after they did, we're still going to get Call of Duty. But it's because your competition is going to be making a whole lot of money. And also a whole lot of money off of you. Because you're going to be selling the game and then 80% or whatever the split is between Activision and PlayStation, whatever that split is, 80% is going to your biggest competition. That's the problem.
My thing is, like, I don't understand why he would just believe that they would keep the game or he would assume they would put the games on PlayStation just because of like Minecraft, because like Minecraft is already on the PlayStation platform, but like Redfall and Starfield and them,
those are brand new
games, you know? So it's like, and they keep Fallout 76, they're keeping Elder Scrolls Online on there and stuff. So like,
and especially when they talked about legacy titles.
Yeah,
when they said, as soon as they said the word legacy, I would have been like, I need to call them to find out what legacy means.
Yeah. Okay. Like, all right. So we can be done with this.
Yeah, let's go move on. Please.
So is Microsoft? Who do y'all think is gonna win this? The FTC or Microsoft?
I have no. I think it's 50-50, honestly. It could go either way. The judge could rule for or against somebody. I do believe that whatever this judge rules is going to end the deal or push or allow it to happen. Because Microsoft wants to close it, but if they get this preliminary injunction put in that forces them to not be able to close it, clearly Activision is not willing to renegotiate the deal. They're going to take that $3 billion and walk, and that's going to be the end of it. So,
all right,
yeah, that's what I think too.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about something fun.
Stop sharing.
All right, okay. And so I just want to apologize. I didn't mean to confuse you or snap at you. I should have been more clear.
He's grown. He grown.
No, let her up. Thank you.
I missed y'all so much.
Okay, so anyway,
she wants to say something so fast.
Wait a second, Singer. You want to show your clip now? Are you still there? I guess not. Right,
yeah, he's been on.
I'm back.
Then he went to drink a spot.
Okay, what clip are you going to show?
It was something back to do with, remember, back when we were talking about the PS1. Because I saw some comments in the chat, so I just wanted to clear something up. It's like a 2-3 minute clip.
About what?
PlayStation 1.
Whose video is it?
PlayStation Museum.
All right.
Lucas like, who do I have to? If they come after me, who is this person?
No, it's not. It's a fan. It's a fan thing.
Oh,
it's not.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So, what point did they make in the video? You can just tell me the point.
About how PlayStation grabbed everything when they first started out. The Psygnosis and how that became SIE.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So, okay. So let's go ahead. Talk about something fun. All right, guys. All right. We're done talking about this gaming shit. We're going to talk about measuring attraction. We're going to talk about what we find attractive. All right. Okay.
As a guy, I can tell you 2 of the 3 things.
All right. So we're going to discuss it, and it's going to not only be physical, we're going to talk about mental, emotional as well. All right. So.
You got a question about that?
Okay, so y'all in the chat, what do we find attractive? So last night I was in Erica's stream, Autumn, you want to let Erica know that I'm talking about this now? What is she doing? Go message her. She's probably not even on Twitter because of what's happening.
Sexy beast.
Excuse me?
Someone said sexy beast.
All right, so last night I was in Erica's stream, and she was like, Luca, I thought you were going to talk about the attraction thing. And I was like, girl, it was just me and Slomo last week. Like, Singer left.
She basically said Slomo can't keep up.
I'm going to give my thoughts
What?
on...
That's not what she said. Stop making stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I find attractive, and then you guys can talk about it, and then we can break it down. Here's the thing, right? Like, okay, let's break it down. Here's my thing. Do I want to say this? I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Oh man, no. You know what? I'm actually not going to admit.
Are you
going
to make this show private later?
No, just in case in the future, this comes back to haunt me. I will say this: what I currently find attractive,
just admit it.
I like. Huh?
Just admit it.
Oh no. But shout out to Sir X-Men saying Activation is the oldest game developer since 1976. So can we do physical stuff? Yeah, Doc. Let me know if you want to come through, Doc, to discuss this. And what's up, man? You did a great job last night. Getting jumped by the ponies, man. You did what you had to do, my guy. Anyway,
he tried to blend in for a second, though.
All right, so let's see here. Dennis says intelligence trumps all. Geekhead said big booty Latinas.
That ain't true.
Okay. Triple JJJ said Luca. We find Luca attractive. Thank you. Brain Cells on Fire says cute face, nice ass, and a long pair of legs. And Bandy says I like hair and for women to wear socks.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Personality and talent, looks and hygiene. Hygiene is very important.
What kind of talents?
Brain Cells on Fire says curly hair is also extremely attractive. Sarah Bond does have a beautiful smile. Dudes in cowboy hats and southern accents. That's what Autumn says. Luca about to say large foreheads and tight shirts after that FTC and Phil talk. Oh no. No. All right, so what do I find attractive? What do I like?
Someone said you like emo.
I do like the style. Yes, I do like the style, but for me, I don't think so. All right. And Doc says legs and butt. I'm not a boob guy. Geekhead said short hair. Ass over boobs is Geekhead. Okay, conversation and being at least thick fit. Okay.
I guess it comes down.
Yeah, no, I don't like. Here's my thing. I understand that for a lot of women, height measures into attraction based on like there's like this thing. It's like I don't know. But like here's my thing. I'm 4'11". Anyone if you're like 5'4", you're taller than me. And so I don't want to be breaking my neck. So I don't need a guy who's 6 foot. Like that's ridiculous. We would look ridiculous together, So yeah, basically. All right. So what am I attracted to? Listen,
I like say it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I like me and Autumn were having this conversation. I like big guys. You know what I'm saying? Like just I like feeling like I can be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like I like feeling like I can be protected. You know what I mean?
When you say big guys, like what? Teddy bears? Big teddy bears? Big grizzly
like
bears?
There's like a spectrum. Like I would say like yeah, bears, but like not too bearish. You know what I'm saying? But like just big guys. Like big. I don't like super skinny guys. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the too thin guys. I don't like that. But I also don't like guys who are too big because like a bodybuilder, I wouldn't do that. But like big guys who you can go out, right? Yeah. And you're safe. Like at least physically they look like they could not.
They look menacing and imposing.
So,
but you don't like tall, so
tall and big though.
so it's like just a wide dude. It's like a wide average height dude.
I'm not saying. Oh, shit. I want a bear that can legit throw me across the room. Exactly. Built like a football player. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not saying fat. I'm saying like big in physicality. You know what I mean? Like I like muscles, but like not too many muscles. You know what I'm saying?
So like Coltrane or Marcus Phoenix.
No, that's too big.
Oh,
What?
They're too big.
You don't like big people, then?
Anything is bigger than me, but I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about. off
Okay,
the Lucas
but
scale.
listen, I will. Like I said, me and Autumn talked about. He was kind of a little bit too big, but I like bigger guys. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So, but I also like. I'll give you an example. I was at Walmart and there's this Latino guy, right?
Mhm.
And he was taller and he was like muscular and he was super cute. And I was just like, oh. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe I'll date a Latino guy. You know what I'm saying? You know? But like I like all ethnicities essentially. And
Was he?
yeah, so but like then
Never
again,
mind.
like personality does matter a lot because like
No, it
you
doesn't.
could be super for me.
It
You could
doesn't.
be for me, but like you could
No, it
be
doesn't.
super hot.
You know why it doesn't matter? Because how can you measure attractiveness when you first meet somebody off of you don't know? Listen,
That's why I was going to get into
it
the
does
personality as you
matter.
get to know
I
them.
know
Marco,
after
like, come on.
no personality matters when you want to keep somebody.
Yeah, but that's part of the spectrum of measuring attraction.
How do you even get? How do you get through the door, Luca?
Right? Okay, like you have to obviously
get
be
through the door
attracted to the
first.
person first, but like
So
You already know
she's
what
not
you're
saying that like it's a either or thing. She's saying that
I'm not saying
like,
it's an either or thing. I'm just
well,
saying
yes, you are because
you
you're
know you
like
have to get through the
you
door
literally
first.
Just said it doesn't matter.
No, it matters when you want to keep them. You have
Luca,
to walk through the
did he
door
say,
first.
Like 2 minutes
Some
ago?
people can't walk through the door, Luca.
okay, yeah. So
Now I'm just saying. So
just
so
because
are we talking about the whole?
there's somebody
Are we talking
for
about
every,
the spectrum from beginning to end?
Obviously not.
Okay, well,
that's why I started talking about it, man.
Okay, well,
that's why I brought
different.
up. I said what someone in chat was like, okay, let's do physical first and then personality. I'm like, okay, like what?
That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about.
Godzilla saying Forte on the money. I'm like, no, like there have been guys where I'm like, oh, he's handsome or he's cute, but then he'll open his mouth and I'm like, ooh. No.
Yeah, but that got you.
Not.
But that got you to talk to him first.
Okay, and
no, the appearance got you.
Yes,
got the conversation.
Yeah,
but then the conversation ended, and once he opened his mouth.
Yes. I'm trying to understand the point you're making.
No, I'm just saying that literally.
Yeah,
it's just like this, and no man, no guy can tell me anything different. When it comes to looking at a woman, yeah. Pause. When it comes to looking at a woman and a guy looking at a guy looking at a girl and a girl looking at a guy, there is a expectation in your head of how far you're willing to go.
Okay, but I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. Like, can I talk about me first? And then you
Luca,
guys,
you are not excluded from this.
No. I'm Luca. Not everybody is exactly the same.
I'm not. No, you don't have to be. You're
okay,
not
but like, if I could just finish talking about,
go ahead, Luca.
Before you interrupt me with your whatever.
Go ahead, Luca.
Because matter of fact, what do you even know about what I'm attracted to? I've not dated.
I didn't say what you were.
I didn't say what
you were attracted to.
That we've known each other.
I'm not saying anything
do I ever
about.
talk about?
This
like
is
I'm like, oh,
fascinating.
I'm like, oh, he's hot or whatever. That's
I'm
all
not
I say.
even talking to you about what you.
About what I'm attracted
to.
So
you're
attracted
to.
Hey, slow-mo. At least mine will be short and sweet.
I'm just like, what's right now? So anyway,
go ahead.
Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything. I mean, you guys are crazy. Of course, you have to be attracted to someone first, generally speaking.
You guys.
I'm talking to people in the chat. So
okay, all right.
Okay. Like, Luca has her ideal taste. Reality has a different take. I'm like, you guys don't even know what my tastes are in terms of anything because you haven't let me say anything. You guys came through and we're just automatically just jumping to conclusions about shit. And I'm just like, what are you saying right now? Like, what are you even talking about? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, most women are, but I'm not most women. You know what you guys are like trying to put me in this box. I'm like, again, what do you guys know about my personal life when it comes to dating? Absolutely fucking nothing. So you can't just make assumptions about what I'm doing and who I'm seeing and all that stuff.
I don't think anybody's doing that, but
I mean, people are definitely said, yeah, wide men, but I've seen wide men in reality. So like, what are you trying to say? Hacky sacked? Like, because you're like, oh, it doesn't match reality. I'm like, Okay, I've seen wide men in person, so like
Well, I
I was
disagree with
literally
that
just
part.
talking about a guy.
Go for it, Mom. I need to hear this. I need to hear you. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
but
I'm
I don't
sorry
want
for
to
cutting
date
you
someone
off.
who's 6 foot, and that's what women say. I want to date a guy who's 6 foot. That's what I'm talking about. You know what?
Go. No, we knew this was gonna happen. Let's go.
No,
I need to hear.
I didn't know this was gonna happen. I didn't know that you guys were gonna be like jumping down my throat and jumping to conclusions about like.
No, look. I wasn't trying to jump down. I was just asking. I'm not even talking about you in general. I'm just
No, I mean, no. Like I said before, like you guys
to
can make
do with
whatever
you.
assumptions you want to make, and you
Right,
could take. Yeah, I mean, like, what you really expected me to just accept your fucking nonsense? Me,
No.
out of all people,
Who?
you and the people you
I don't
like,
expect.
come on.
I didn't expect you to do anything, homie.
Like, yeah, I don't understand like why you guys are like jumping to conclusions. Like, I could be like, Bless Red, do you like big tit chicks with no brains? I mean, probably. You know, probably.
So
you know,
so
don't
I
have
can
their
only
own
speak,
opinions.
so
Probably. You know,
I can only speak for myself. So where do you think I jumped to a conclusion?
I mean, because I said, because like you wouldn't even let me get to my point when I started talking.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Are you gonna let me answer? Are you gonna let me answer?
Yes.
You wouldn't let me get to my point where I was like, okay, so let's talk about personality then. And I was like, personality also matters. You're like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. I'm like, what are you even saying right now? So you did jump to a conclusion and you automatically were like it doesn't matter for you, Luca. I'm like, what?
No.
Do I like, that's what you said, not
You did say that.
No, I said personality does not matter until it gets to the point where you know you're in a situation where you want to keep somebody. It matters. I didn't say that's for everybody.
We're talking about the entire spectrum and scope of
what?
Like, no, I clarified at the beginning that I said physicality first and then personality. Were you listening?
No, we just said. No,
Were you listening?
No, we just said physicality. Then you went straight to personality.
No,
so
I said physical.
Rewind and say first and second.
Hold on.
All I'm saying is it was kind of felt like it was lumped together. That's all I'm saying.
You should have just left it alone, man. You should have just let it rock.
I mean, because if she said it, I just didn't hear her say first and second. I just heard her say one thing and then go to the next, and I said, no, it can't be both because you can't have physical, you can't have personality. I mean, I don't know. You can't have personality.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't know you. I didn't know you suddenly were lacking comprehension skills, dude. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I thought better.
Oh. Hey, Slow-mo, pass me some of that popcorn.
Oh, here you go. I got another batch in the microwave cooking right now. So you can have the whole thing, man. I got another one coming.
Yo.
Oh man, Luca's going back. She about to play it on the air. Everyone's going to hear Forte go. It doesn't matter. It like The Rock. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what your
Singer though. While Luca is getting her evidence, Singer. Why don't you go, man? What is
all right? So my physical attraction. Nah, it changes with the seasons. You know.
Oh, okay. Big butts in the summer, tits in the fall.
No. I mean, I'm a bit partial to like the snow bunny. Then, like, you know, you have.
Why are you calling?
Don't worry about it.
No, I am worried. Why are you calling them snow bunnies?
Either way,
what's the weather like where you're at?
It's hot. Okay.
I'm like, saying, where does snow even fall?
All right. So, hey, man, it's a cold country. I could get away with it. Okay. Then we have, you know, then a bit of the caramel, bit of the dark chocolate, and then currently I'm of the Asian persuasion. It is what it is. And you know, nice smaller girl. You know, not too big in the breast department. Nice ass, mandatory. Bit shorter than me. You know, nothing like a good pocket rocket. Look, what do you want from me?
Oh my god.
And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the physical. Prefer redheads over any other, so
Oh
that's
my
always a
god.
plus. Because you need a bit of fire and spice in there. And then personality, not. Oh wait, are we just doing physical and then leaving personality to after?
You could go there.
Yeah, you go whatever you want.
All right. Then personality, generally not your typical stuck-up Barbie girl. Don't like that. None of that. Kind of, I need to go out with my 5 inches of makeup and like a girl that's too done up. Don't like it at all. Like moderate on the
I can agree
makeup.
with that. Like,
Yeah.
Like
makeup is
The one that
is
feels
a
like she's
problem.
trying.
Yeah. Like, the one that's, a bit of eyeliner, bit of whatever, but you don't look like someone just did their own Barbie doll, And real in the relevant departments, siliconing for me. Then but yeah, just a nice person, not stuck up, reasonable, down to earth for the most part. And mainly fun, because I like to do fun things. So I want someone who's, out to do fun things. If one day you want to go, out and do like canoeing or whitewater rafting, they're down. So a more adventurous, outgoing personality.
Mm.
And if you like games and anime, that's a bonus. That's why I'm of the Asian persuasion right now, because that's more prevalent. So, yeah.
Cool. I guess I can go. So in the past, because of course I'm married now, but in the past I have dated all races. Like the beauty is so. It's a great thing. There's beautiful women everywhere, and I've seen beautiful women in all races, and I've dated a lot of different races. But I think when it comes to when I think back through them all, like for the physical, it's always been I've dated tall and short, but I've been mostly attracted to short girls that are fit. Short fit girls, she's got to have an apple bottom, like not gotta, but definitely like. A nice ass. I don't really care about the tits that much. But definitely the ass has got to be on point. Personality wise, I like intelligence. I do not like when I have to like conversations are difficult because it's like I gotta explain a lot of things that they don't understand, or we're not aligned in a lot of ways where we agree on a lot of different things, because then it's like everything is like a fight or argument, though that it just becomes an annoyance at that point. It is rare, and and maybe I shouldn't say this, but in my opinion, some of the girls that have been like drop dead gorgeous that I've dated have been like complete idiots as well, or they just like they're so used to dudes being like falling over themselves after them that they don't try, and so it's just like even talking to them is just nothing. So it's just like, yeah, I can't do it. So there you go. That's all of me.
All right. Shout out to Brain Cells on Fire saying we all the same size, lying down 5 feet. All right. So here's the thing, Nautico, you were actually right. No, he was right. Here's what happened. I was reading Doc Darkness's comment, and he said, "Can we do physical and then personality?" And so I started reading it, and I said, "Oh yeah, we can do the physical." And then I paused, and I said, "Doc, do you want to come on?" So I didn't say personality. So yeah. But that being said,
I'm still sorry because
what's the definition of the word attraction?
You tell me.
Okay, so the definition of the word attraction, it says the action or power of invoking interest, pleasure, or liking someone or something, right? And then also a quality or feature that evokes interest, liking, or desire. It's also okay. Those are the other definitions of the word, right? So it's those two things there, right? It's about interest. That is right. So here's the thing.
But I'm still gonna apologize to you because I cut you off multiple times.
I mean, yeah, you did.
And I'm sorry, and you my homie, and I don't want you to, and I don't want you to think that I'm trying to tell you how you should feel or anything. I was just like,
yeah, it's just annoying
what we just said we were gonna do.
Like I said, Bless Red and Lionel are known misogynists, so there's that. So I'm just like, oh, but you know, I mean, they listen to the show, so it is what it is.
I am disappointed. I
know. Yeah.
I was gonna get cussed out. I said, I thought I missed something. Did I?
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, I shouldn't let the known misogynist piss me off.
And yes, Chad, that's exactly why.
Lionel, did you get kicked off of Twitter for saying some crazy shit? I know you did.
Also, to address the chat, the main point was I was looking for someone who's real, not fake. Like, keep that fake shit away from me. There we go. Because the last girlfriend I had, yes, she was Asian. She was half Japanese. So yeah, it was. She was, you know, average, shorter than me. It was nice, but it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? But she was real, and the only reason we broke up is because she went back home to Japan. Can't do long distance relationship. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that. I think for me it was ultimately, I mean, ass rules everything. Everybody likes the front. I guess it depends if you like to see them coming or see them going. I always like to watch them go because I literally got a video of me walking behind my wife with my camera, just looking at her backside as we was getting on a cruise ship. And I did it this time again last week. What are you doing, Shannon? Like making sure I capture this beautiful moment on camera again. But the biggest thing for me, and it was kind of shocking, I started really loving people's eyes. Like eyes are really something that attracts me to a person. Like my wife has slanted eyes. And I remember the first thing I noticed about her when I walked up to her and I saw her, I was like, you have really pretty eyes, like really slanted. Both my kids have it too. And it's gorgeous. So I didn't know that was something I actually liked until I met her. But for everything else, ass all day.
Yeah.
Yo, Gregor, I hate you so much.
Well, what'd he say?
Someone returned Singer's anime body pillow.
Oh, man.
And before that, he said, I like 2D anime girls. Yeah. Just because I like anime, you know, it'd be nice if the other half is into anime because we could sit down and watch it together. Because I personally, Netflix and chill should be anime and chill. But, you know.
I think that's what made me want to marry my wife. That she was in the video games. I didn't know nothing about
Yeah, there we go.
Once we dated for a while, like a couple of months, and then I remember Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and I literally let her borrow my Xbox for like 2-3 weeks so she could play Grand Theft Auto 4. And I was like, are you really again? She's like, oh, dude, I love Grand Theft Auto. And I was like, oh, then I love you too.
That's nice. Yeah. That is nice. Yeah, I mean, if you are better looking, here's the thing. If you are someone who is like considered conventionally attractive by European standards, you can get away with more things. People are more likely to gravitate towards you because we want to be around things and people that look good to the eye or whatever, right? And so, yeah, like to Slomo's point, there are a bunch of like chicks and a couple of guys too. Like, yeah, there's guys and girls, right? Like, have you know those really pretty guys? Head empty, just nothing there, right?
Birds chirping,
just nothing there. I'm just like, wow.
It's the same problem that I have with girls.
With girls, like, yeah, there's a bunch of girls that beautiful, have been beautiful their entire lives, never had
Dumb
the girl. They never had
personality
because of how they look. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think, but I think ultimately, unless you're someone who's one-dimensional, personality does play a large factor in what you're attracted to. Like, I'll give you an example. This guy I used to work with, I thought he was so handsome. Ooh, but then I was minding my business and he sat down next to me. He's like, so I think that Colin Kaepernick shit is just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, whoa. Okay, like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, I know I look like one of the same blacks, but like, I don't want to talk to you about this at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like someone's personality and their view, like someone's viewpoints on issues will determine whether or not I'm still attracted to them, you know? Like, because unlike a lot of people who are one-dimensional and shallow, I do actually have a personality, and I like having personality, and I enjoy the people I like. It's the same for the people I'm friends with. If you're not intelligent like book wise, you have to be intelligent like street wise, at least, you know what I'm saying? For me to like want to interact with you. You can't be someone who's prejudiced. You have to have the same viewpoints and align with me on that. Like, I can't be with anybody who fundamentally does not have the same views as me. And I think that's like for most people, you know, like that, because that'll just cause issues in your relationship long term, especially if you decide to have kids. And then like the kids thing is another thing, right? So yeah, here's my thing. I'm not a prejudiced person. I'm very apathetic about several issues in terms of like people in their bodily autonomy, people in their personal lives. Like, do whatever you want to do as long as it's legal and you're not hurting anybody, and it has nothing to do with you hurting kids. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like, there are certain things I'm not going to budge on that I feel strongly about, and if you oppose those viewpoints of mine, I'm like, yeah, we can be cool, but we're never going to be close friends. We're never going to be good friends. And I'm definitely never going to fucking date you, you know, like at fucking all. Like, I have no interest in dating someone who has viewpoints that are just fundamentally opposed to mine. Just like, but I feel like that's like most people, you know, like, do you want to be with someone who just, when it comes to something you feel passionately about, they're just like, actually, I disagree with you, and they want to argue with you about it. Like, I don't like, I like having in-depth conversation, but if I want to see and hear the other side and other perspectives, I'm sub to YouTubers for that, where I can see and hear what they have to say and get their side and get their perspective. But it's like, there's a degree of distance there, because I'm just like, it's just a YouTuber, who gives a fuck, you know? But like someone in my personal life, like me and Slow-Mo are such good friends, right? Because when it comes to the majority of issues, me and Slow-Mo are on the same page. I don't have to ask or question whether or not Slow-Mo's going to react to something, for the most part, whether or not Slow-Mo's going to react to something in a way that's just like, oh, that's a little spooky. You know what I'm saying? So like that's just how I measured my friendships. When me and Alde used to talk all the time, we were good friends. We would have like these long in-depth conversations like all the time, because he's very, very intelligent when it comes to people. And so he had like a lot of perspective when it came to relationships and different kinds of relationships and interacting with people. And like, for the most part, when it came to our social views, we were heavily aligned. And when on the topics we weren't aligned with, I'm like, I need you to make a compelling argument on why you have this awful perspective. And he was and he was able to, like, he either give his side, or he was able to listen to what I said and be like, okay, yeah, now you're right, Luca. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like,
when you're done, I want to talk about a big red flag I think
sure,
people should look into whenever you're done.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. I think a huge red flag. And so after you get past they hit the check mark with physical and check mark with personality. A huge hurdle that you might run into is how they interact with their friends and you. So, for example, I have found that girls that have a group or a circle of friends and then abandon that circle of friends as soon as they get into a relationship also have a different personality in the relationship than they had when you first met them. And what I mean by that is, like, I dated a girl and I was close with her friend group. We were friends before we started dating. As soon as we started dating, she cut them all off. And they were mad at me like it was something that I was doing. But I'm like, nah, I'm trying to get her to hang out with y'all, because I'm trying to hang out with other people. But she was just clingy. She only wanted to hang out with me. She only wanted to spend time with me. And I'm like, it wasn't like this when we were just talking or when we were friends. But as soon as we made it official, you turned on the switch and you became a different person. Like, that's something you got to kind of, like, it's unfortunate that you can't really like pinpoint that before you start dating, but once you see it early on, it's good to get out of it before it becomes way too emotional. Then you start getting phone calls like, I'm gonna hurt myself kind of stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you
It's
don't
fucking
want that.
nuts. I can't
Yeah.
stand when people are like, I'll hurt myself if I'm like, okay.
Okay.
You're not about to emotionally manipulate me. It's just
I'll
not
send
happening.
flowers to the hospital you at.
I will say, fortunately, I never had a situation like that where they were like super clingy. Because obviously, a lot of the time, there's a lot of stuff to so you go out and hang with friends. Like, for example, in college, a bunch of my friends went to college with me. And then you make obviously new friends in college and you have different circles and mingle. And it's generally just like, oh, yeah, let's all go out to go karting, for example, or let's all go to like a nice beach down by me. So, like 10B, we stay for the weekend, camp out, whatever, you have drinks and generally stuff like that. But I've never had anyone do the whole, oh, if you do this, I'll hurt myself, or fortunately, I haven't run into any of them. Most of the girls that I hit it off with and actually got into a relationship were more just chill. Like there wasn't so much, I guess, crazy to them.
Singer, are you currently, you're not married, are you, Singer?
No, I wouldn't consider that right now. No.
Okay. Slum, I got a question for you.
Oh boy.
Being the other married person on this panel.
I don't even know if I want to answer, but let's go.
Being the other married. Friendships with your wife. So we all know your wife is your friend, of course.
Mm-hmm.
How far does is she do you consider one of your best friends?
Yeah.
And she feels the same way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that I consider my wife my best friend too. My wife looks at me, he's like, "Dog, go find your old friends. I got my friends, you got yours." I was like, "What you mean?" So it's just weird hearing it because I feel the same way. Like we're really, really. I know that we're really friends, but it's like if I was to say it to her, she's like, "Nah, you ain't my best friend. I got a best friend. You my husband." And I know a lot of people feel it's like kind of a difference. Like you can't put
it's definitely different because
it's definitely different. Yeah.
It's marriage, so it's like, but you have it's kind of like, how like best friends can have their inside jokes, their own kind of like terms and phrases of things that like are completely benign, but then like they're like cracking up about it. Like that kind of best friend energy is also what we have in addition to us being married, so like we'll be hanging out like at a group event with other friends and see something that we both find hilarious and just look at each other.
Yeah.
And then like that's going to be laughing about that all the way home kind of thing. It's different, but it's like I do know spouses and been dealing with a lot of my friends that have like getting divorced, got separated, where they don't talk to each other. They live in the same house together. There's nothing there. There's no kind of relationship there anymore. And it's just like that's honestly kind of torturing. Sounds torturous to me.
No, it does. Yeah, I was always just wondering that because it's always something that, because we do the same thing when it comes to finishing each other's things. We'll see, like, matter of fact, we was on a cruise and certain people was there and we saw things happen. It's like, look at each other like, oh yeah, you already know what I'm thinking and stuff. And then you just laugh about it, later on. And it just, but it's like, I remember we were just talking because, she has like this one best friend and it's like literally that's her dog. And if I was to say, I told her, I was like, no, you're my real best friend. That's not your friend. I'm your best friend and I'm married to you. She was like, no, I have a best friend. Go find your own best friend. And I was like, oh my God, stop it. But I just been hearing like a lot of conversation from people, like, because I feel like at a certain point, if you're not that close to the person or the significant other that you're with, it's like, you're truly not all that well, in my opinion, I should say that you're not as close as you possibly can be, because I just feel like at a certain point I need to be able to tell that person anything, and everything.
But here's the thing is that like I think it's more about compatibility, because there's some people that don't want that. There's some people who are kind of like they they want to be, sometimes they just want to be alone. They want everybody to leave them alone, especially the significant other, and let them be in their own headspace for like a day, and then they're back to normal. And when they don't get that, they get irritated. And I know people who are like that and have had really bad relationships until they started dating someone that was just like them, so the person understood. I ain't trying to like be up under you all the time. And sometimes I just need to go off and have a jog, have a run, come back, watch some TV, bang some Netflix, and not talk for a good 3 or 4 hours. I know people like that, and they just, and when you have good communication, your significant other should just like, all right, you're good.
I think that's, yeah.
And the problem is that some people can't accept that from their significant other, and so what they start doing is like annoying them. Like, but we as gamers understand it, like where if you just want to, I just want to play this game for about a good 3 or 4 hours and just be engrossed in it. And then we see scenarios where where there's a girlfriend that's like in their face. What are you doing? You know, like you're trying to watch a game, you're trying to watch the game, and you can't watch the game because they're like, you're not spending time with me right now, or like, bro, like go find a hobby. It's what you need to do.
That's that clinginess right there, though. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to be able to have your own space, your own lane, and everything like that. I just, in general, it just ultimately comes down to communication is the most important thing that can happen in those type of relationships. Go ahead, Singer.
When you establish that, though, when you date them, like what you're into and like certain, this is what I want to do. Like, for example, I like to play video games. So if I come off work, and I want to sit down and play a video game, you understand it's my time.
Yeah.
Would you say that make that established first? They know before they get into it, this is what it'll be.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Because I know, especially in my relationship, it ended up being exactly that. I play games at normally more than most people do. I've done it my whole entire life. That was something that was going to always be a part of my life. As I even get older, I still do it. Of course, it's tapered off because of kids and just family relationship stuff that you have to do, but that will always be there. So just like I know when she goes in, like when she'll come home, go into the room and like watch TV, I know that's like her quiet time. That's what she want to be to herself. And she knows if I just come straight home, go in the basement, I just and jump on a game, it's because I just need my time and stuff. So, and then you just gotta know what's right when it actually happens. Like, I think I took 4 years, almost 3 to 4 years before I finally said that where I'm at right now, nothing's going to be better than this. It's doing all your checks and balances. Once you know that there's nobody else that can do and make you feel as happy as you are right now, you can't be without that person, then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you'll make all the preparations and you'll acquiesce to all the different things, that you have to do to make that happen. But I think a lot of people don't take those steps in order to get to that point because they want to take the quick, fast, and dirty way, and they find out they're incompatible later on, and then bad things happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Luca's in there talking about actors and stuff. What you got on your mind, girl?
Me and Brian was trying to give me or ask me examples of guys I could be attracted to, and he mentioned Christian Bale, and I was like, okay, yeah, Christian Bale is attractive, but like I'm not attracted to him. I guess I'm not attracted to him or Robert Pattinson, even as Edward. I was like, they couldn't have picked a hotter guy, but I guess he has his appeal someplace.
What about Aquaman?
Oh, Jason Momoa. He's like big. What's America?
Is that type of big you're talking about? If you think about big, Jason Momoa.
I was thinking like M'Baku big, but like not the height, like his build. You know what I'm like?
Got you.
You know how his build was in the movie and such.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see here. Who else? I also find I can't remember his name. Let me look up his name.
What is he in?
The Green Knight? What is
The
it?
Green
Mile?
Knight.
The Green Mile?
You mean
No,
the
it
Green
wasn't
Mile?
that. No,
No.
I don't know what it's. I don't
Green
know.
Lantern?
No, it's definitely not that.
Yeah. Everybody
I'm just thinking of
movies,
No,
names
I
with
did-
green
I-
in
the
them.
number
I
name
was
green in
right.
it.
The Green Knight, Dev Patel.
Okay.
Dev Patel. So the Green Knight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll name other things he's been on. He's been in. Oh Lord, what has he been in?
Dev Patel was in
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slim Dog.
That was like his
And-
breakout movie.
Yeah. So him. Yeah, I think Dev Patel. I think Ben Affleck, a younger Ben Affleck, is handsome. Oh, I also I thought I just watched Die Hard. Bruce Willis, I had such a big crush on him and on The Fifth Element. And then I also had a
With
crush.
the blonde hair.
Yeah, with the blonde hair. It really suited him. I don't know.
It did. The blonde hair
then-
was really different on him.
I also liked Morris Chestnut from Two Can Play That Game, which is one of my favorite movies with Vivica A. Fox. Check out that movie. It's excellent. It's so much fun. And then also Michael Ealy. I thought he was really attractive too. Shamar Moore, back when he was on Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah. Those are typically obviously Henry Cavill,
Of course.
of course. But like there are certain like male actors who are like they are attractive traditionally, but I'm not attracted to them, right? Like I think Tom Cruise is very, very handsome, but I don't know if it's because he's nuts or what. But I'm just not attracted to him. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
probably because he's nuts.
It's probably
Yeah.
'cause he's nuts.
Probably because he's nuts and he runs in every movie that he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Idris Elba, I think Idris Elba is so like handsome, right?
Black Superman.
He's beautiful, just a beautiful man. But yeah. Pretty much that.
All his roles are very charismatic. That's why I love him in movies.
Mhm.
Even when he's playing an asshole, it's the same. It's good.
Michael B. Jordan is well put together and he's beautiful. He's a very good looking guy, but I'm not attracted to him. And there's been other people, like other women who've talked about that. Like he's an attractive guy who I remember there was this thread. He's an attractive guy who I'm not attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a beautiful man, but I'm not attracted to him.
So what Luca's saying, there's a tier. There's even tiers at the top end. Like so, you
Yeah,
can be,
like that's how it is for everybody.
there's tiers.
You know,
even
like,
at the top, there's a
Here's
tier.
the thing. People act like having physical attraction to people is like a bad thing. I'm not talking
No,
about
it's not.
I know you're not.
I know.
I remember talking to Stone about this, and I was being honest about what my type was, and they're like, "Oh, you wouldn't even give them a chance." I'm just like, why would I try to force myself to be attracted to something I'm not? Like, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to what you're attracted to. Like, I'll give an example of an extreme. It's like those fat chicks. Respect, because that's me too. It's like those fat chicks,
Stop
right?
it.
Who are all like, it's prejudice to not want to date a fat girl. I'm just like, why would you want to force somebody to be attracted to you? You know, why wouldn't you just want to date someone who likes you for how you are instead of like trying to claim that you're prejudiced if you don't want to date them? You know, it's fucking insane. Like, it's weird. You know, like what you're attracted to as a person, like everybody has their own measures of attraction. You know what I'm saying? And there's like nothing wrong with it.
And
people-
additionally, also, and look, I love my chocolate sisters, but y'all out here.
Here we
every
go.
time-
Yeah, you're right.
Every time there's a dude with a light-skinned girl
Or a
you
white
got
chick.
a problem, or a white chick, you got a problem. But then when you see black girls with white men, you don't have a problem.
You're like,
Nope.
woo,
You're
go
a
ahead.
hypocrite.
Yeah. Get your
So-
sister or whatever, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
like no, and I mean the same can be said like the opposite way too, because I've definitely seen not towards men, not towards other men, but definitely towards the women. Like there have been guys, if they see a black chick with a white dude, like they are on her ass, dude. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? But not so much towards their black brothers, you know. But yeah, like I think people get on women, some women, where they're just like, if you're honest about what you're attracted to, like jump down your throat. I'm just like, why are you guys upset? Like, I'm just being honest about, like, you're not gonna, first of all, no one is gonna make me feel bad about anything about my personal life. Like, let's start there. But you're not, like, I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm attracted to someone or like interested in someone when I'm not, you know? Like, I'm honest about how, like, I think Gregor is very handsome, very, very handsome, right? And yeah, I think Gregor's a really handsome guy. That's all I can really say. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah.
Gregor's like, keep coming, keep on coming.
Yeah, Gregor's gonna be
Gregor up there
popping up in the chat in a
stroking his
minute.
beard if he got
DMs
one. It's like, yep,
going
keep
off
coming.
in 3, 2.
One.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
like
coming.
I'm honest about, like, but if you're in a relationship already, I'm not saying I find you attractive or not. So there's that. So Ayo,
Gregor's
Lino.
got a chance. Gregor's got a chance. Oh man, here we go.
I had a thing for Rebel Wilson, and then she lost all her weight. Yeah, so some guys are into those bigger chicks, man. No, I don't. I like. I'll be clear here. I don't want to date anyone I've met off from this community. Okay, I don't want to date anyone I met from this community. I don't need y'all knowing anything about my personal life. You know, just because I am, like, my ass is on here, not my ass, but like me. I had to clarify because some chicks have OnlyFans, and there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Just not for me, right? So I would never date anyone I met in this community because there's just too many nuts in this community. And I'm not saying that you're a nut. I'm speaking in general, right? But like, I just couldn't.
You know
do it.
why? We've seen this before. You know, people are dating other people within the community. Things go south. The messages.
Oh yeah.
made
Oh
public,
yes, multiple
embarrassment
times.
on
Oh
everyone.
no, it won't be me.
All and everyone else is just there with their popcorn, looking at the drama and
Yeah.
knowing
In the
all
Twitter
your
spaces, the Twitter
There's-
spaces
comes
go
yeah,
up immediately.
There's in multiple instances of a guy and a girl like sexting and fucking around and dating or whatever, right? And then like they break up, and now I'm seeing all their fucking Discord messages. I'm seeing pictures. I'm hearing them in spaces. I'm seeing shit on my timeline. I'm like, oh my
you didn't
goodness.
want to know.
I'm learning more about people's like you know, what y'all like in the bedroom than I wanted to know. And that's what happened because you were dating someone who has access to your internet community because you met them through the internet, right? You met them through this community, and it goes south, and then all your shit's leaked online, you know? And there's just certain things, certain personal things that I don't need y'all to know about me, you know? Like, you guys just like, no, like, absolutely fucking not. So I would never date anyone I met in this community. And the people I would even meet, and like, don't get me wrong, when E3 was still a thing, I would have definitely gone to E3 this year, but no, you know, there's like no E3. And I wouldn't mind meeting people from the community. But like when it comes to like hanging out with people, I'd prefer, like, if I were to ever hang out with anybody from this community, I would prefer like a big group of people. You know what I'm saying? And it would have to be like, by big group, I'd be like the people I'm closest to, but everybody there. So like Nautical, Taz, Villain. I would Slow-Mo if he could, and all that, right? I would hang out with All Day. If like back when me and All Day were like really good friends, I would have hung out with All Day and his girl, right? Because that's how close me and All Day were.
Do you see the chat?
Yeah.
Gregor, if Luca and I broke up, I'm sending more birds to her window, as you should.
No, but look what I said. More. Like, so you sent the first one, and he said yeah.
What's the first key?
So that dead bird that was under your air conditioner.
Oh, man.
That
Rest in peace to that bird, man. God damn. Yeah. Like I said,
driving you crazy as it was dying of starvation and yeah.
Yeah, like, so yeah, I'm just like, yeah, like there are plenty of handsome guys in this community where I'm like, oh, he's so handsome, he's really good looking. But bitch, I'm not dating anyone from this community. All right. Like, it's just not happening. So, or I'm not getting romantically involved with anyone in this community. My friendship drama, remember Blue? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue. I hope she's doing so well. Shout out to her. Like, nothing but kisses and respect to her, honestly. When me and Blue were arguing in our Discord, she was airing out all of our private conversations. Mind you, we were just friends, right? She was airing out all our private conversations to the boys in the Discord. She was just letting out all the boys know every single. They're like, Luca doesn't have feelings about certain things. Luca doesn't care about certain things. I'm like, well, they don't care that I don't care because they don't like you.
Yeah, she didn't realize that. Oh, not respectfully. We couldn't stand your ass. I hope she's great right now.
I hope she's doing good. Like genuinely.
Yeah, but back then you had issues, and I hope you worked that stuff out.
She was definitely tripping on a lot of stuff. Respectfully, she was definitely tripping on a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, respectfully, I guess.
Respectfully, but yeah, and then like I remember, and when we used to hold a podcast together called Speak Podcast. And during like the end cycle of our friendship, we got into these arguments on the show and our personal, like it was bad. And we were just friends. So I'm just like, no, ma'am. And so like, I'll use Stone for example. I would hang out with Stone by myself, obviously, because I love her, right? But it took Stone and I like a moment to get to that point where I was comfortable telling her certain things. She was comfortable telling me certain things. And like me and Stone, you guys may not think this, but me and Stone actually have arguments that we work through, but nobody knows about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we don't go posting it on Twitter. I don't got to worry about that from her.
Exactly. I mean, that's what actual real friendships are. I mean, y'all know me and Luca argue. I mean, that's because we're always arguing, but we've had some serious arguments before, you know?
Yes. And then we work them out, man. We work through them.
I don't go to Twitter like, man, F that little
Luca,
Elmo midget ass. No.
Yeah, damn.
No, I don't do any of that. You know, it's just like, you know what? Let me cool down.
You know, you can have arguments. It's like in the Discord. We got but it's never known. But like some serious disagreements in the Discord. But it's you just work through it. You you're like okay, and then you just move on because you're friends. But obviously none of it ever comes out. Like it's just you know when you have good friends.
It's called being mature. Even if you're not friends with people, I have owned moments where in this community with other people where I have gone too far, said something I shouldn't have said, got personal, and was like, you know what? And then people will come to me, yo, Slow-Mo, that was
bro, you were
wrong.
tripping.
Yeah, and then I go. It's like I don't need to do a public apology. I don't need to go live and let's do a Twitter space apology. No, I send you a DM. I apologize. I own up. That was wrong on me. Hope we're good.
Yeah,
and
because like
every single time it's been good because like that's a mature response. Yeah.
Like I'll give an example. Me and Foxy Games UK. Oh, Lord have mercy. This was like the biggest L I've ever taken, right? It was a couple years ago. I was on Ryan's podcast, and I was just like in a silly, goofy mood, I guess, and I like picked a fight with him over some dumb shit, and we were just like cursing each other out and yelling, and it was so dumb, and it was like so unbecoming of me. Like it was just really embarrassing. It was like a major L on my part. Like I was so wrong for that. And then afterwards, I was like,
I'm sorry. No, I'm just reading the chat.
Afterwards, I was like, ooh, that was pretty bad of me. And then, like, literally, I remember distinctly Fawn's calling me, like, girl, what are you doing? Like, what? Why would you do that? I'm like, you're right. And then me and Foxy Games UK, we had a conversation, like, months later. And I was like, dude, my bad. I was definitely fucking tripping. I'm sorry. And, like, we worked it out. And now, like, I mean, we don't talk or anything, but we're it's fine because like
you're cool.
It's fine. Like I can reach out and I can apologize to someone even if we're like not like super friendly. And just even now, I apologized to Nautical and Slow-Mo today on the show. I was like, oh, my bad. Like I have no issues apologizing. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't like my pride isn't enough where I'm not going to apologize to people. Like
Well, that's because you actually like us.
True.
Some people don't deserve to be apologized to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There are some people. Oof, I would.
Some people I'll no.
I said what I said and I fucking
I meant it.
I meant it.
I couldn't agree with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
There are some people,
it is what it is with some people.
Hey, thank you, Blue Moon. I appreciate you.
Wishing the worst on them. Where is my Guys, I just dropped my scissors. And
Oh yeah, you don't want to stand up.
Yep.
What picture is that from? Slow-mo of Phil
lose your whole
Spencer?
head, huh?
What picture is that from with Phil Spencer?
Oh, the kind of funny interview.
You just literally took it into your editing software. And
Okay,
found
no, so
the
look. I was working on the last uploaded video I've done on my channel. So I showed you how long it's been since I uploaded the video, right? So I paused I'm looking at the interview, and I paused the interview so that I could like type something in the script, and then I looked and I laughed because that's the face he was making when I paused it. So I just kind of screen capped it and thought it would be funny to use it as a profile pic one day. And so now, today I'm Philip Cornelius Spencer today.
Cornelius.
Yeah.
I don't know what his middle name is, but I think Cornelius works.
I want to get one of those Phil, Dominus, Aurelius,
Maximus.
Phil,
Dominus, Maximus, Aurelius.
No, it is Phil, Dominus, Maximus, Aurelius, Spencer,
Did I
as
say it
per
right the
king.
first time?
Yep, you
Okay.
did. Yes.
I ordered a hold the line shirt.
Singer has
That
had
shirt
no
is
problem
fire.
with anything this entire nearly 3 hour podcast, but us getting that wrong, he had to stop everybody.
As they should.
No,
Rightfully so.
it is Phil. Dominus Maximus Aurelius.
Spencer.
As they
Don't
should.
you forget it.
He's about to say,
Don't you ever forget it.
he's gonna be like, this is Xbox to kick somebody into a pit.
That is that's a different. That okay.
Can you imagine
But
Phil Spencer trying to do that part?
Before we, I will say before we move
Wow.
on
This is
from the
Xbox.
attractiveness thing, I do have my favorite quote for the attractiveness
Yeah.
thing, and it is, "My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun."
hun.
And
All right.
that is how it should be.
Okay, let me check out the channel member topics. There's only 2. Brandon says, "Hey Luca, I just want to say I was wrong about Team." What? I just want to say I was wrong about Team Xbox. I can't blame how competitive Xbox is behind the scenes. I'm shocked. Phil said Xbox. Wait, I'm shocked. Phil said after Xbox bought Bethesda, he wanted all games to be exclusive. This level of aggressiveness is music to my ears. I'm just disappointed that Phil, Sarah, and Matt and the rest of Team Xbox were not in charge at the end of the 360. Things would have been much different if they had the resources and confidence from Microsoft. I hope everyone enjoys their 4th of July weekend. And then shout out to Just Call Me Margurk, saying, the fact that so many ponies are upset that the judge actually did her research before the hearing. They're saying that she was paid off because she had counterpoints to almost every FTC argument. I think they believe that they know something about the law because of all the episodes of Law and Order they watched. Honestly, however, I think they may have forgotten that judges are lawyers. Facts. Good point, dude. Good fucking. Mostly, I've been like, first of all, this shit isn't interesting to me in general, right? But like every time I see people trying to break this shit down, the first thing I'm asking is like, are you a lawyer? Because if you're not a lawyer, I don't know, man. I don't.
Well, people out here telling people that are lawyers that they don't know what they're talking about.
That's true.
I'm like,
Okay. I mean, look, that's part of the course for this community. We've been for years telling developers that they don't know what they're talking
Hey, yo, fuck
about.
those
So
people. I'm just kidding.
that's not how game development works. Game dev.
game dev.
I hear you and Bandy saying the judge also thought that every console gamer outside of PC. Did she, y'all? I'm not watching that shit. I'm gonna keep that.
No, she basically said.
Is that what she said? 'Cause I don't
No,
think that's what
she basically talked about Zoom and you know how. I think she just thought that everybody had a PC.
Yeah, we all have a PC, like a regular PC. Yeah.
She didn't discern the fact that every PC can't play games.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have this PC and I just bought a new one, a new old one. Why do I have it? Just because sometimes I'm lazy and I just don't feel like going to my computer. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, shout out to Drav, Outlaw, Kenneth, Amal, Lionel, Damien, Tevin, H-Dog, Dirk McGurk, Stankmaw, King Metrotron, Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Mr. Dolo, DK's Blizzard, John, Smokes, Lord Jorenza, Stardust, Brisket, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Kenny, DC, Shogun, Mike, It's Me Baby, Big Daddy, Smitty, Plus on the Block Podcast, L White, Sub Negros or X-Man, Yobi, MJ Jazzy, Erotimus and Bandy, Dom, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle, Breesky, Corey, Light Strife, J Bari, RK, Pepito, Nautical, Jet, Brandon, Envydub, Jarrell, Snowmo, and Hannibal for being members of the channel. Damn. Whatever happened to Meta? I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I haven't seen Meta.
Occasionally, I would see on Twitter that Meta. You know how like if someone you are you follow is in a Twitter space, it'll pop up at the top. Occasionally, I used to see Meta would be in like those crypto Twitter spaces.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's been a while since then, so I hope he's good.
Not doing good. But yeah, Autumn might hang out with you. But I did want to say this, right?
Autumn seems cool.
Yeah, she's really nice. Here's the thing. I don't like when people make assumptions about me. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't like the fact that some of you guys like were jumping to conclusions about me just because I'm a woman. Like, you guys only know certain things about my personal life. Even like, the guys down here don't know certain elements of my personal life. You know, we all have things that we keep to ourselves, even from people that we're friends with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all get different versions of the same person depending on who you're talking to. So I have certain hobbies and interests that I don't discuss with these guys because I know that they're not interested, and there's no reason for me to discuss it with them. You know, I have certain perspectives and likes. I have another Twitter account that is used to retweet certain things that I enjoy that I know other people in like my time wouldn't want to see. You know, like. So it just really bothered me that you guys, like some of you guys would automatically just assume like you listen to too many of those goddamn red pill podcasts. Okay. And you're in the wrong. Listen to what you want to listen to, enjoy what you want. But like, you're not going to like come to my space knowing that I'm like a strong-willed, headstrong person and like try to apply certain things to me that just are not true. Like, it's just because my thing, like, I just don't like that because I wouldn't like, I mean, I could make a lot of comments and assumptions about the people who are doing that. Like, yeah, I said misogynist. I mean that shit though. It's someone I've seen, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's only for the people who I've known for a long time. But like, just the randoms coming through saying and like trying to apply shit to me. I don't know, y'all. So or also like, listen, it's a lot of black men making some crazy comments about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about you guys in the chat. I'm just saying in general, most of the people I've gotten into arguments have been black men, like saying the most derogatory things about me. And so I could easily just be like those women who are like, I hate black men. All black men suck because of that. But I don't say that and I don't do that because I don't hate black men and I don't think all black men suck. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's baffling to me that I can apply that courtesy to you where I don't just automatically judge you and bash you because you're a black dude and automatically have like this negative perception on you. But like, just because I'm a black chick, specifically a chick, you guys make all these assumptions about me. Like, come on, man. It's annoying, you know? Before I saw Luca, I assumed she was a little white kid. You know, back in the day on RDX podcast, I said to people, I'm not a 13-year-old boy. Why did I say that? Because the comments were all about me being a 13-year-old boy, you know? But Troyski says, I understand you, Luca. We all, or most of us, have a private side just because some revel in telling the internet about theirs, right? Yeah, I'm not, like, there are so many things about my personal life that just, you know, which honestly, people should be more mindful about sharing certain things in the personal life.
Absolutely, especially in this community where people will weaponize your family and the people around you to attack you whenever they feel like it. Like I'm not every, but the majority of the people I've seen that have like shown pictures of their kids and their wives and spouses and stuff have been attacked by people who aren't showing anything. Just because, you know, it's they feel like, you know, they can get to you, to get under your skin. It's a lot of bullshit. And yeah. So I would say for the most part, don't reveal that stuff if you don't have to.
Yeah. Like lots of people on social media share too much about themselves, actually. Exactly. The bird sacrifice ritual shrunk Luca. Exactly. I was dying. I thought Erica was naked when she was retweeting naked burger. The hell is that?
Gregor, I hate you so much.
And Doc says, they only know Doc. I'm still close to what you see on YouTube, but obviously it's not on me. Exactly. Like my name is not fucking Luca. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a nickname that I use. And yes, I like everyone from here calls me Luca. Even if I'm talking on the phone with like Slow, I call Slow-Mo. I call Nautical. I mean, he goes by Gaming 14, but I call Nautical when we're on the phone. You know, they're listed as Slow-Mo and Nautical on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like they know what my name is, and I know what their name is. I mean, I think a lot of people know what your name is, Nautical, but like I know what their name is, and it's just like, but we still refer to each other as like our online persona names. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, I don't like that some of y'all were like jumping to these conclusions about me. I was like, oh,
Gregor, you're actually wrong. The picture I got up is my snow bunny from Final Fantasy 14.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go with the snow bunny thing again.
No, see, this is within context. See, you're taking it out of context.
No, I'm just saying, here we go with that.
I'm just saying, like,
She's too
my
dark to be a
character
snow
is
bunny, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but her fur and never.
Okay,
You know what?
let's Luca, let's move on.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Wrap it. Wrap it.
Yeah. I apologize for the. You know, actually, I don't apologize because y'all were out of line. All right, I'm gonna say that. Not like you guys were out of line, so I don't apologize.
Which part about them just making assumptions or about the whole wide thing?
They're making assumptions about me. I don't like that. Like that really bothered me. It really upset me. Unlike other people, here's the thing. I know there's like that. Oh, you're mad. Oh, you're upset. And like people use it as some kind of mocking point. I'm like, yes, I'm upset. Yes, I'm mad. You did something upsetting to me. Like that upset me. You know, you did something I didn't like, and I had an emotional reaction to that. That's normal. Like, I think people would do a lot better if they didn't lie about the fact that they're pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Because
no, you're right. Because like I was gonna say, in that situation, I feel like a lot of people piled. First, like I said, I apologize. I can only apologize for myself, but you know, me and your conversation was like kind of just off script, more to the fact that you thought I was talking about something.
I know what you were fucking doing, sir.
Yeah, you know what I was doing.
Yeah,
but I
got something for you.
I know you do.
Okay,
but you know, I'm never myself. I'm never going to tell you how you should feel about anything. Me and you that had conversations about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to tell you things like that. But I do feel like everybody else on the outside that kind of jumped in on it was doing so by thinking that, oh, Forte got her on this, and I'm like, no, y'all don't what? Like, y'all don't know what the conversation really is. This is
not
about.
One of your fucking red pill podcasts you listen to, you guys.
Right?
Anyway,
it ain't got nothing to do with any of that.
It doesn't have anything to do with any of that. It's not like some pitting men and women against each other. Like that's.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I tried that Grimace shake.
Oh no, I know you told me. How long did it take you to finish it? Because that's the test of how good it really is. An hour and a half?
But I was doing other things.
Oh, you slow jerk. Okay, got you. Shit, was it a shake by the time you was done with it?
No, it was all right, so I tried the Grimace shake. It's pretty good. As good as a McDonald's shake can be. Like it's just like a bunch of chemicals. Like it has a chemical aftertaste, you know what I'm saying?
Ew.
But it was like
I don't want that.
I don't think you've ever had like a McDonald's shake, right? Because you can't drink it.
No, I can't drink that.
Yeah. It is blueberry and vanilla. Yeah. It's pretty good. I would never have it again, but it's pretty good. I fell into the hype, yeah.
What do you think is the best shake they have? You think the
McDonald's?
Shamrock?
I don't drink McDonald's shakes. If I'm gonna have like a if I'm gonna have like a shake, it's gonna be from a real ice cream shop.
Facts.
One thing I get from McDonald's for myself is coffee. I like their coffee. I know that's kind of I know a lot.
Their coffee's actually I get
like
their
coffee.
I get coffee be making me sick, man.
I get their iced coffee.
I like what was it? I think it's called like a chocolate chip Crap or something from McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
I had that a couple of times.
Cappuccino.
It's pretty good, but like I haven't had it in years. Maybe like a decade.
I
or
don't like
5 years, something
Starbucks
like that.
coffee. Like I don't understand the people's obsession with. I don't like nothing from Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks coffee either.
It's over-
I
it's
do
over.
like certain things from Starbucks though. I like their
I like the refreshers.
mango fruit.
Facts.
Exactly.
Yes.
The
mango dragon fruit
That shit is
refresher with lemonade.
fire.
Fire,
That shit is
bro.
fire. It's
I
so
had one
good.
at the airport
Man,
yesterday. It
yeah,
was so
no,
good.
That shit is fire, dude. So I like that. And then I like their white chocolate mocha, and then there's chai latte. I like that.
Mhm.
But like, I don't drink their coffee. If I'm gonna drink coffee, I'll do like Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts has some good coffee.
Theirs is pretty good. The best coffee I think I've ever had has been at a kind of like not like a mom and pop place, but like a actual like coffee shop that's just it's near my job out in which is like far away from where I live, unfortunately. So I haven't been there in a while, but their coffee, it was like it was great. I'll drive out to work just to get that.
I'm Timmy Ho-Hos.
Tea is the way forwards because I tried coffee and
That's
I
right.
just can't put down tea.
No,
Because
understandable. Tea is great.
I make a nice mean cup of tea and you sit down, you sip that, and you're like, you need to make sure the pinky fingers in the air as you're sipping it, maintain that British standard.
Exactly, as you should, King. So yeah, ultimately, I hope we're all good, guys. Again,
No, we're gonna argue and yell at each other once the show's over.
You call me emotional. I'm a very emotional person, but I have boundaries, And it also, like I said, that shit made me like not want to talk to y'all about this stuff. I'm like, all right, I just won't talk about it then. So, all right. Anyway, we can just get out of here. Shout out to everyone who hung out in the chat, everyone who listens later. Please hit the like button on your way out. Nautical, go ahead and do your outro.
Pray for me. I hope that you see me again next week. I love you guys, and it's Gaming Forte on YouTube and Twitter. If you don't see me,
Twitter,
Twitter, I guess. If you can still scroll on it,
exactly.
But check us out for DPS. We didn't do it this week. We'll do it next week. So Thursday 9 p.m. Hopefully I'm there to host it. We'll know very soon. Have a good weekend, guys.
All right.
Were you about to go to war or something? What are you talking?
Man, I don't know what's about to happen, but I see scissors in people's hands, man. She don't live that far away, man. She only like a 4-hour drive.
Okay.
Slow-mo?
The only thing you have to worry about is like your kneecaps, maybe your shins. But
man, don't be talking about her like that, man. We got to be nice. We got to be nice, man.
I have kneecaps. Okay, all right. Okay. Stop talking about personal stuff. I tell.
Well, does he have ankles though?
Yeah, that's the question.
I have. See. Look, they don't know. They don't. Y'all can go ahead and think all my ankles is bad.
Ain't got no gristle left.
The truth is different. The ankles aren't the problem. It's something else. Anyway, great show as usual. Chat was all right. So sometimes y'all, I got a great job on the curve sometimes, but y'all were okay today. No, seriously, had a good time. Enjoy your games. Have a great weekend. All that good stuff. See you guys next week.
Shout out to the chat being fire as always. I took some unnecessary shots courtesy of Gregor, but it is what it is. My anime love shall continue. You can find me everywhere. And on the attractiveness thing, if you're gonna clip it, at least tag me so I can laugh at it. Because the way I started that was wild. So just so I know. Oh wait. Actually, yeah, at me. But I might not be able to see it until tomorrow.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit the notification bar, you won't be able to see it in.
I know. Right. Ridiculous.
I missed my opportunity.
Like, that is just... I don't know. Anyway, thanks for coming out, guys. I will see you next week. And I might have some...
See you guys on Hive. Sorry, go ahead.
Fingers crossed. I might have some good news next week. So we'll see. But
Please.
Appreciate all the Super Chat support. All my memberships, everyone who hangs out in the chat, who doesn't piss me off. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. But I feel like, we're a big family because sometimes y'all be pissing me the fuck off, but I'm sure perhaps I piss you off too. I definitely know that I've pissed Erasmus off, right, buddy? Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I've,
You know what you could do,
maybe
Luca?
not.
You could tell all these beautiful people in the chat that we love them, and we love you so much. Go get an air purifier if you live anywhere near us up here.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad out here.
Because listen, when I landed home, I didn't have a cold. I didn't cough one bit in Florida. As soon as I landed up here, I was like, oh my God, I've been coughing the whole time. It's terrible up here.
It's pretty bad, man. Like there's been an air pollution warning for like 3 weeks, man.
For 3 weeks
now.
It's like that here too.
Yeah, it's bad, dude.
Like my son is trying to do all these different sports this summer, and every other day his practices are canceled or his games are canceled. And it's because the air is so bad.
It's pretty bad, man. All right.
So take care of yourselves, man.
Be safe, y'all. And hopefully I have some good news for you guys next week. All right, bye.